Varsity Athletic Programs. Become a FAB Varsity Athletic Programs. Become a FAB member today. For more information, go to our website, flyerathleticboosters.com. Go Flyers!
And a very good evening, hockey fans, and welcome to the Exchange Arena in Little Falls, where tonight it is boys high school hockey, as the Little Falls Flyers ranked 11th in the latest Let's Play Hockey Class A poll that just came out a few hours ago, with a record of 7-4-1, take on the 21st ranked Alexandria Cardinals in Class A with a record of 6-6. Hello everyone, James Hershey with you. Glad to be with you once again for high school hockey tonight here on Flyer Media Productions. On the shelf tonight, a unhealthy scratch is Mark Deal, but Karen Warner is in the hot seat tonight along with the student body behind the scenes. And joining me in the booth is Jamie Pettit. Jamie, here we are tonight. Alex, Little Falls, it's always a great game when these two get together.
Well, let's back up a week. We were in St. Cloud at the MAC as Little Falls was taking on the defending Class A state champions, St. Cloud Cathedral. And in our pregame comments, we said it was almost like a midterm examination for the Little Falls Flyers, as they had St. Cloud Cathedral on the road, a home game with Duluth-Denfeld on Friday, and a Saturday afternoon game at home against Proctor. Little Falls went 2-1 last week, beating St. Cloud Cathedral 3-1 on the road last Tuesday night, losing to Duluth-Denfeld 6-4 on Friday night, 2 empty net goals in that game, and then a nice come-from-behind win on Saturday afternoon against Proctor as Little Falls beat Proctor 3-2 in overtime. Proctor had a 1-0 lead after 1. Proctor had a 1-0 lead after 2. The Rails had a 2-0 lead, 5:28 into the third period. And until late in the third period, Proctor had not taken a penalty in the entire game. But in the last 3 minutes and 45 seconds of the third period, Proctor took 2 2-minute minors, and Little Falls scored 2 power play goals. Luke Avery had a power play goal at 13:39, and then with Isaac Collis, Little Falls Flyers goaltender, pulled for the extra attacker. Ryan Othout had a power play marker. It was 2-2. Heading into overtime, and just 17 seconds into overtime, Little Falls had an offensive zone faceoff. Joey Walensky won the faceoff. Ryan Othout helped to get that puck back to the blue line. Luke Avery took a shot, a nice low shot, a tippable shot, and it was tipped by Lucas Gendro into the back of the Proctor net to give Little Falls a nice come-from-behind 3-2 overtime win. And what a way to finish that midterm examination last week for Little Falls.
And you mentioned midterm examination. I had a chance to talk with Joey Hanowski about that, and in this interview, we will chat about that right now. Joined now with the head hockey coach, Little Falls Flyers, that being Joey Hanowski. A Tuesday night game against the Alexandria Cardinals. Always a good game against the Cardinals. We'll get to that in just a moment. Let's recap the weekend. Of course, we talked about the Denfeld loss 6-4, but a nice bounce-back overtime win against Proctor on Saturday, 3-2. Your comments about the game?
Yeah, I think when you look at the film, like I said, that night too, is like their game second period on. I thought we kind of wore them down after a while, and just proud of our kids. Stuck with the process. 5 minutes left in the game when you're down 2-0. It can go either way. Kids can kind of pack it in, and found a way to tie it up, and then took care of it pretty quick in overtime, which a coach always likes.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit, about at least getting back in the game. You're down 2-0. You know, some things didn't go your way, but your kids did find a way to find an opportunity to score. First of all, they drew a penalty, and that helped.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like I said, credit to our kids. I thought the last 6-7 minutes of that game, Proctor was kind of sitting back, just okay with a 2-0 lead. And I thought, again, I was hoping earlier in the game, but I thought if we could get one, you know, our kids will smell blood in the water and go. And, yeah, worked out, and shout out to our power play. 2 big goals for us. And then, you know, we've been preaching that we have to be better in faceoffs, and won an offensive zone faceoff, shot from the point that was tipped, and it was a good game.
Yeah, it was. Well, let's talk about the power play a little bit. It's almost close to 30%. You're at 29%. Chat about a little bit about the power play and how you feel that it's increasing, doing better recently.
Well, I think the biggest thing is now that we're getting healthy, we can put out that power play too. You know, we've had in the past where we've only had one. I think with this group, they're more potent if they have a minute 20 when they're fully rested. And I thought our power play, too, against Denfeld had a bunch of great opportunities as well. So I think that is, and, probably in the last couple of years, this 5-man unit's been moving it pretty well. Like, they understand their roles, they've bought into it, they understand the looks now. Was pretty impressed. Like, we had, your 3 minutes left in the game on a power play, and we just saw their penalty kill for the first time that game. We knew they weren't super aggressive, so our kids knew what to do, and they executed it well.
Let's talk about the other side, the penalty kill. I mean, the numbers maybe aren't exactly where you want them to be, but you have killed off some big penalties, especially some 5-minuters.
Yeah, I think the penalty kill can get better. We talked about it yesterday when our kids are just focused on killing 2 minutes instead of trying to cheat for a shorthanded goal. We're really good. It's when we get out of place and we're trying to jump but shorty, and we just kind of preached to him yesterday, like, shorthanded goals happen because you were really good on the kill. Meaning a block shot for a rebound or you forced a bad pass and got a stick on it. You don't look for shorthanded goals, they happen. And so when our kids are focused on killing, I think we're better than what our percentage is showing.
Let's talk about, I know Jamie mentioned mid-season term grade in that. Today is your 13th game, so you're at the halfway point of the season. How would you grade the first 12 games this year?
Oh, probably, I'd say BB minus. I think with the lack of consistency's been a problem, but we also haven't been healthy either, right? We've been rotating a lot. But I like us as of late. I thought the Denville game overall was a little frustrating, but again, we said if we were 2-1 in that week with a win against Cathedral, we'd be really happy. So I'd say, B minus B, and hopefully by the end of the year I can say AA plus. So
what are the things that you need to improve here in the second half of the season that you see?
I think play how we did second, third period against Proctor is where we're consistently playing our game. We're doing the same thing in the offense to create chances, and everyone's bought into the system. I think now kids are starting to buy into some of those roles. The beautiful thing is we have kids on our JV that are pushing for third line, so we have competition there as well. And I think kids, if we can stay healthy, are going to fall into their places where they can help our team.
All right, another week, another grind of a week. You've got 3 games. Of course, tonight, Alex, and then you got the weekend trip up north to Thief and Crookston. Let's talk about the Alexandria Cardinals. And this is a team that always seems to start out slow. Probably has a lot to do with their fall program with football. They've done very well. And now they're starting to come on here. They've won 4 in a row. And this is always a fun game. It's always a challenge between these two teams. What do we know this year about the Cardinals?
Honestly, people said they're down. I don't think they're down. It's Alexandria's Alexandria. They've got 3 lines that can get up and go. To your point, like they've won 4 in a row. They're really good. I think they're good. I've watched film on them. They lost 5-0 to Northern Lakes, and that was basically 4 goals in a 5-minute span. You take that out, they're right there. So I think they're a team, Alexandria, you're going to get. They're going to be physical. They're going to work on the forecheck, try to create turnovers, and I think they're a lot like us. It's always a battle, and hopefully we can break the streak tonight because I think the last 2 years, both of these teams haven't won the home game. It's been the away team, so hopefully we can break that tonight.
Well, one thing I have noticed is the scoring is definitely down, not only for Alex, but for you guys. So goals are very limited, I guess, maybe potentially tonight.
Yeah, and more credit to them, though. Their scoring's a little more spread out than ours is right now. But I told our second line I love what I saw on the Saturday. They couldn't find the back of the net, but if we keep getting those opportunities, they're going to come. And, yeah, I think that secondary scoring is going to come. We just got to stay patient. All
right, keys to the game. What do we need to do to get another win tonight?
Yeah, whoever's the more physical team but can stay out of the box is probably going to win. We have to play fast, and then the last one we challenge our guys. Whoever wins special teams tonight is going to win the game. I think both power plays are pretty good. Both penalty kills are by mid-70s. So we got to stay out of the box, and when they go into the box, take advantage of it.
Should be a fun and even game tonight. We'll talk to you after the game.
Yeah, thank you.
Once again, that's the head coach of the Little Falls Flyers. That's Joey Hanowski. And thanks to Joey Hanowski. And, of course, he mentioned his grade, a B, B minus. Your thoughts about that?
I think that's a fair, reasonable assessment. There's been too much inconsistency at times for the Little Falls Flyers this year. Look at the big wins. Orono, St. Cloud Cathedral, Rock Ridge, Proctor. Those are 4 big wins, but then nights that they've really struggled. They struggled down in Hutchinson. They struggled on Friday night against Duluth-Denfeld. So you can't give a team an A if they've been as inconsistent at times that the Little Falls Flyers have been this season.
No, I wouldn't give them an A at all whatsoever. I might actually give them maybe more of a C plus possibly. They have started to get things in the right direction. I think the goaltending's been fine. That's not been an issue at all. The defensive pairs have been working out pretty well together. It's just getting all these kids out on the ice now on those three lines, and as you mentioned, getting three consistent lines, which is the first time we might see tonight.
Last Tuesday night, it was an A+ when they beat St. Cloud Cathedral, the defending Class A state champions. So we'll see what team we get from Little Falls tonight. Is it the team that we saw last week against St. Cloud Cathedral and Proctor, or what we saw from Little Falls on Friday night in the 6-4 loss to Duluth-Denville? Coach Janowski talked about it in his post-game interview from St. Cloud last Tuesday, that Little Falls did the little things right in the St. Cloud Cathedral win. They took away time and space. They won those defensive zone faceoffs. And if you look at Saturday afternoon's win against Proctor, in particular on the 3 goals that Little Falls scored, on the first goal they scored on the power play, it was Gendro providing a screen in front of the net. On the second goal they scored on the power play, it was Schmidgall providing the screen in front of the net. And then the game winner in overtime, it was Joey Walensky winning the offensive zone faceoff. Those are the little things that you need to do to win games, and Little Falls did it Tuesday and Saturday last week.
Let's go to the other side of the Alexandria Cardinals. They come in 6-6, started off a little bit slow. They're on a 4-game winning streak under their first-year head coach, Landon Olson.
Yeah, Josh Myers was the head coach for 4 seasons. He took Alexandria to the state tournament the last 3 years, but you referenced slow starts. This year they started 2-6. They're currently 6-6. Last year they started 3-7-2, but finished 18-11-1 and went to the state tournament. 2 seasons ago they started 1-9, but still found their way to the state tournament. So yes, slow starts have been an issue for the Cardinals, but they've rattled off 4 straight wins. They're looking for number 5 tonight.
All right, let's look at the starting lineups for both teams. And that means our starting goaltenders. Who's in net tonight, Jamie?
The Alexandria Cardinals are 6-6. Their first-year head coach is Landon Olson. Grady Locke has been introduced as the starting goaltender. He's 3-2 this year. He's played 245.5 minutes, a 3.5 goals against average, save percentage at 88.4%. Brady Schluter is on the disabled list. He is sick for the Alexandria Cardinals. He has the best save percentage for Alexandria at 90.5%, but it's Locke getting the starting assignment for the Cardinals, and Locke was the winning goaltender last week against Brainerd as he stopped 21 of 24. He was also the winning goaltender on January 2nd as Alexandria beat St. Cloud 4-1. Little Falls is starting goaltender, no surprise, it's Isaac Collis. He's 7-3-1 this year. He's played 567 minutes, 2.5 goals against average, a save percentage at 92.9%, and in Saturday's 3-2 overtime win against Proctor, once again, Collis was shining as bright as he possibly could, stopping 30 of 32 in that win on Saturday against the Proctor Rails. Isaac Collis for the home team, the Little Falls Flyers. They're 7-4-1. The road team, the Alexandria Cardinals, they're 6-6. It's the senior Grady Locke and those red pads starting for the Cardinals.
And it's a noisy night here at the Exchange Arena. That's because the Little Falls High School Band is here, and we will hear them with their national anthem. And the playing of our national anthem by the Little Falls High School Band. And Professor Pettit, what you got on tap for us tonight between Alex and Little Falls?
Joey Hanowski's in his 4th season as head coach of the Little Falls Flyers. The Flyers have won 8 overtime games under Joey Hanowski, including Saturday's 3-2 win against Proctor. Also on that overtime win list for the Little Falls Flyers under Hanowski. Last season, they beat Laverne in overtime. Garrett Lindbergh had the game winner. That was the night Ben Hanowski went into the Little Falls Flyers Hall of Fame. Ryan Othout's got a couple of overtime game winners for the Little Falls Flyers the past couple years. And in December of 2021, Little Falls had an overtime win against Alexandria. 7-6, Little Falls trailed by 5 goals twice in that game, and Colin Craig got a shorthanded overtime game winner. That game again was back on December of 2021, and back in November of 2021, Joey Hanowski's first win as the Little Falls Flyers head coach came against Orono in overtime.
All right, puck is down. We're underway, and just like that, 5 seconds in, we have a whistle, and it looks like an offside call. Or was played with a hand, and it's going to go down into the Cardinals zone. That is where Grady Locke is. The senior, as Jamie mentioned, comes in with a record of 3-2 on the year. As the first shot goes over the cage. And the Cardinals will come up with the puck. Can't clear it out of the zone as it's held in on the left side there by Chisholm. Played out to center ice here by the Cardinals. Just out of the reach there of Basson. Now Basson has it again. He's thrown into the wall, and a penalty coming up here. Well, what a difference a game makes, because in the Proctor game we had a lot of physical play with no penalties, and here we get a cross-checking call right away, which looked really very little, if anything, but it is a penalty.
Joey Walensky ushered to the penalty box, 24-second mark of the first period. That will give the Alexandria Cardinals a power play. Early here in the first period, Cardinals have scored 8 power play goals this year.
This will be cleared the length of the ice. You mentioned the power play goals, 8 of them, 8 for 34, 23.5% on the penalty kill, which we talked about in the pregame show with Joey Hanowski. They are 76.5%, 26 to 35s. They do have the 3 shorthanded goals, and he was talking about that in the pregame show, about sometimes they're more worried about getting a shorthanded goal than just killing off the penalty.
And bad news for Little Falls as Walensky took a penalty, and Walensky's one of Little Falls' better penalty killers.
Puck played all the way down once again. Block will leave it off here, and he'll leave it off here for Schultz on that first D pairing. Schultz will leave it off here now. This is Basson, the center. On the left wing coming up, this is Grady Olson. Olson will dump, chase after it. Chisholm gets a whack at it. Picked up here, however, by Evan Klimek. Klimek now in the circle. Shot taken there, and a glove save made by the netminder Collis. Back to the point it comes. Schultz now over the left side to Olson, and a glove save, and holding on this time is Collis with 51 seconds to go yet on that cross-checking penalty to Joey Walensky.
Well, Grady Olson's the leading scorer for the Alexandria Cardinals, 6 goals, 10 assists for 13 points. He played for the Cardinals last year as a Bantam-eligible freshman. Took that shot from the left point. Not an easy save for Isaac Collis, as there was all kinds of traffic in front, but eventually that puck was in Collis's glove.
Still on the power play here are the Cardinals for the next 40-some seconds. Puck down low, picked up here by Gendro. The outlet pass, tried to see if he could maybe connect there with Majurley. Too strong. Majurley does get it first, throws it back, kept in it by Gendro. Shot by Gendro, that clanked off the pipe. And then it's cleared up and out of play.
Well, Gendro was the hero Saturday afternoon in the 3-2 win against Proctor in overtime. He tipped that Luke Avery shot from the blue line that beat the rail goaltender to give Little Falls their 7th win of the season. Gendro had a chance there. It caught a piece of that purple goalpost here at the Exchange Arena.
30 seconds left on the penalty time. Out to center ice, it's Aaron Anderson sending it to the line of the Flyers. Picked up there by Avery and then dumped in here by Anderson. Goes behind the netminder. This is Gendro, almost overskated it. Does get some help back there by Chisholm, and they'll clear it the length of the ice. Down to the final 10 seconds here on the opening penalty of this game. Maybe one last quick rush here. as Suki comes out to center and has it taken away by Chisholm. That will end the penalty. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Othout has it, bobbled it at the line a little bit, gets it back right in front of the Cardinal bench, sends it around the dasher, and it'll be Walensky coming out of the box. He's fresh. He's behind the net. Centers it out. One-time shot there by Othout, and I think getting a piece of that one was Locke. Once again, picked up here now by Walensky. In the corner with it. Walensky trying to get through a check there. He does. Walensky still with it. Slides it back to the left point. Chisholm with a low shot. Save made there by Locke. Picked up by Walensky once again. He'll get it back down to Chisholm. Pass over to Othout. Ryan Othout, his shot wide. Gathered in now by that open wing there. And that is taken by Walensky. Plays it to Gendro behind the net. Gendro centered a pass out, but right on the tape there of Brody Berg. And Berg will carry it out the center. Pass over to O'Shea. Shea comes across the line. And he's bumped off the play there as the puck in the skates there is Schmidgall. And the Flyers will play it to the line, and it'll come out of play as it just goes below us here with 13:35. What are the lines tonight for the Flyers?
Ryan Othout centers Joey Walensky and Lucas Gendro. All three are seniors. Derek Young's the second line center. Bo Majurli on the left. Bantam-eligible freshman Liam Toma on the right. Brady Dick centers the third line. Mason Othout on the left. Tyler Rakowski on the right. Primarily four defensemen for the Flyers. Remy Chisholm, Luke Avery, Kyler Schmidgall, Alex Toma, Isaac Collison net, and Mark Deal from Flyer Media Productions, our executive producer, is an unhealthy scratch tonight.
He is. That he is. On the other side for the Cardinals, Basson is the center with Berg and Breitzman on the wings. The second line is Evan Klimek with his brother Owen on one side and Grady Olson on the other. And then your third line is Cameron O'Shea with Jacob Nicholson and Aaron Anderson. Those are the top three lines for the Cardinals of Alexandria.
And I fully expect the Cardinals to play six defensemen.
Out to center ice and dumped in. We'll talk about those defensemen. That one of them, we just had the puck in his hand there, was Schneiderman. And it's played out to center ice now. Moved ahead here by Klimek. This is Evan, going to leave it back off here for Grady Olson. And the puck goes into the glove of the netminder Collison. He holds on. The rest of the defensemen, you've got Trey Pfeffer, along with Hudson Carlson, Nick Schultz, Grady Suki, and Sam Jocelyn.
The last 7 meetings between Alexandria and Little Falls. 3 wins, 3 losses, and a tie. Dead even. 3 wins, 3 losses, and a tie for Little Falls in their last 7 meetings against the Alexandria Cardinals. 2 teams split last season.
And Joey was saying that the big hit just below us here between Rakowski and Carlson, both players okay. He was saying that the losses actually were on the at home. Is that correct?
Yes, the last 2 seasons.
Last 2 years, yeah.
Yep.
So that would mean the Cardinals would, if that trend continues, they would win tonight here, and then in about 3 weeks, we'd win there.
If that trend continues, Coach Hanowski doesn't like that trend tonight.
Yeah, well, I don't think the Flyer fans like that necessarily either. 12:20 to go here in the opening period. No score. Shots 3-2 in favor of the Alexandria Cardinals. As the Cardinals have it at center, this is Nicholson. He'll dump it in. And back to pick up will be Ryan Othout. Ryan gets it over to Avery. Of course, Avery in the 100-point club, 103 points overall for him. He's number 24 on that list, and he's got a bunch of people right in front of him where he can jump up here with a few more points. He can get himself into the top 20 with about 4 more points. As there's a jumbo of guys below. Here's now give and go, shot just wide there, and Walensky even put his hands up going, I missed it. As he got a great pass from Ryan Othout.
Yeah, Othout delivered the pass to Walensky, who was trying to go high to the blocker's side, and he missed the whole works.
Puck comes once again out to center ice. And all the way down and icing the call as it once again comes off that Zamboni door there and takes that weird angle. I talked to Wesley about this.
Got some in-depth reporting on that for us.
And actually they've noticed down by the kick plate there might be comes out just a little bit. So they're trying to figure out how to make that work, but we just saw it there again. It came around. Wesley went out and practiced numerous times trying to make it happen, and he couldn't do it. Now here in the opening 5 minutes of this game, it happens.
I thought you were going to tell me there was a little button.
No.
And they correct it during the second period and overtime, and they leave the flaw in place. No, it would be the opposite. They correct it for the first and third period, and they leave the flaw in place for the second period and overtime. That would favor Little Falls.
Trent Schmigdahl, the trainer, coming over to the Alexandria bench here for something as he ran through, trying to see.
Looks like he's attending to Grady Olson, I think.
Bloody nose is what we maybe heard.
It looks like it might be Grady Olson on the Cardinal bench.
Puck played back to the point now. Schneider in with it. Gives it down there to Evan Klimek. That shot coming across and played to the line. Glove down here now by Peffer, and the save made by Collis as he holds on. 11:03 to go here in the first.
So what you're saying is they can't replicate the issue at the Zamboni door.
No, they're struggling with that. But it sounds like the kick plate down there, the yellow, it might be just a little bit out, but they haven't figured out. He was talking about maybe like even filing it down or something, but
what if they take like a heat gun or something and try to push it back?
I don't know. I didn't get that in depth with him, but I asked him about it because it was actually brought up when I was in his office because somebody was saying that they were hearing about when we were talking about it in the Denfeld game. Back out to center ice. Dumped all the way down. Picked up here by Schneiderin. He'll play it around. That's Peffer. Can't clear it out of the zone. Schneiderin now going to bring it out to center. Mason Olthout gives him a check. Mason back in the lineup once again. And out at center ice now. This is Dick. Gets it over just out of the reach of Rakowski. Oh, they say no icing. They'll wave it off. And the puck now touched there briefly by Jack Van Bruggen. Bruggen, that is. Out to center it comes. Comes across the line now, O'Shea. Shot on net, save made, rebound, loose score. And putting it in the net is Jacob Nicholson, the senior right winger on that third line. And he has his third of the season, and it's 1-0 Cardinals.
Well, here we'll take a look at it on Flyer Media Productions as the Cardinals come rushing into the zone, and finishing it off is Jacob Nicholson, the senior, to give Alexandria a 1-0 lead. Cardinals lead 1-0, 7 minutes into the first period.
Well, a juicy rebound given up there that time by Collis. You don't see those a lot, and came right back to the stick there of Nicholson, and he buried it in for the 1-0 lead. And his third of the season, an even strength goal.
Always nice when you can get production from the third line, and the Cardinals do get production 7 minutes into the first period.
Well, they're leading in the shot category too, 7-2.
Number 6, Jacob Nicholson. Assist to number 27, Sam Joslin. And number 7, Cameron O'Shea.
So Joslin and O'Shea will get the assist, and the third of the season for Nicholson has given the Alexandria Cardinals a 1-0 lead. Played out to center ice. Hudson Carlson nearly had it taken away there by Ryan Olthout. Picked up here by Jocelyn. Now moved ahead here by Walensky. Bouncing puck. Come down here with Olthout with it now. Olthout slides it over here to Avery. Shot towards the net. Gloved out of there by Locke. And he will hold on and draw a faceoff down in the Cardinal zone.
And Trent, the trainer, is still attending to Grady Olson on the concession stand side of the Alexandria Cardinals bench. Face-off in Alexandria's zone to the left of Locke, and Little Falls has their second line out, Derek Young, Bo Majurley, and Liam Toma.
Sounds like it's a upper body injury around the face, so it must be a cut or something is what we're gathering here. So he'll get stitched up.
Mend him up, and he'll be back soon.
Get him back out there. Make sure there's no blood on the jersey, and here we go. Anderson now in the corner. 9:05 to go here in the first. That one dangerously comes out right into the blue paint there, and Collis has to make sure he makes the save. Now picked up here by Klimek. He'll play it in the corner. Little give and go there as they're trying to get it back to Anderson. Anderson now has it. Tough angle, actually goal line extended. Just takes the shot, goes off the side of the net. And it is Majorly flipping it out to center. Here comes Derek Young coming in, left wing side, goes in hard and into the net. Actually goes the defenseman back there.
Grady Suki was defending for the Alexandria Cardinals. He crashes into Locke. Locke crashes into the net. The net ends up along the end boards. But back in the Little Falls Flyers zone, it was Bo Majorly getting a pass up ahead to Derek Young, and Derek Young had a rush, and it was Suki back defending to break it up.
Well, Young came in hard on that left side, and then he actually pushed Suki towards the net, which kept him off balance and into Locke, into the net, and that's the reason for the net coming off.
Well, Coach Janowski talked about his second line in his pregame comments. Derek Young, Bo Majorly, Liam Toma. Boy, they had chances on Saturday afternoon and couldn't get the puck in the net.
Jocelyn out to center ice, comes across the line. Bouncing puck comes back out to neutral, picked up there by Carlson. He'll dump it in. Bouncing puck knocked down there by Collis, leaves it for Chisholm. Now to Avery. Rakowski just off the tape there, Mason Oathout. And turned back in by the Cardinals. Shots are 8-3 in favor of the Cardinals. They lead 1-0 on the scoreboard. 8 to go here in the first. Played around, held in here by Carlson from the left half wall shot, and another save made there by Collis. His 8th so far. This one high off the glass, rolling down, and Mason Oathout can't get there in time. And it'll be an icing call here on the Flyers.
Official scoring on Alexandria's first of the game. They get the icebreaker at the 7-minute mark of the first period. Third goal by Jacob Nicholson this season. First assist, Cameron O'Shea. Second assist, Sam Jocelyn. Nicholson from O'Shea and Jocelyn. 7-minute mark of the first period, and it's given Alexandria a 1-0 lead.
Back to the point now. Schneider in, that played it down deep. Centering it out in front now, that was Basson, and back out to center comes Oathout. Here's Ryan Oathout, quick shot taken, rebound in front there, that was Chisholm, and the shot made, saved by Locke. That puck was sitting down there after the initial shot by Oathout, hit the back of one of the Cardinal players, but right there to pick it up was Chisholm, and Locke had to make the save. Playing it now is Walensky. A couple of Cardinals around him. Digging out there is Brightsman. Also in there is Basson. And it'll be actually Gendro. Gets it over to Oathout. Little wrist shot, save made. Then Gendro with a shot there that just goes wide. As you hear the grimace of Jamie. Now a tip in front and a score! Avery gets it down low to Gendro, and that combination for the second time in a row.
Isn't that what happened in overtime against Proctor on Saturday afternoon? Oathout goes back to Avery, tipped in by Lucas Gendro. Seconds earlier, Gendro couldn't get it to go. He gets a second crack at it, and Little Falls has tied the game at 1 as Gendro, nice redirect on the Avery shot.
The 7th of the year for Lucas Gendro, that is having a great senior year. He's got 12 points now, and this is, of course, game number 13, and he's even sat out a game or two because of injury.
He's extremely opportunistic, likes to hang around near that net.
Number 10, Lucas Gendro. Assist to number 14, Luke Avery, and number 22, Ryan Oathout.
So Oathout gets 1 assist. The other assist goes to Avery, and with that, now Avery comes up with 104 points. He's tied Joey Cotton for 23 on the all-time list. Next up, he has to get to 107, and there's 4 guys sitting there with 107.
Logjam.
It is, so he could quickly move up the ladder here in the next game or two. And for Lucas Gendro, what a couple of games he's had as the official falls down at center ice, just blew a tire. And dumped in. Gendro coming in 4 games, had 5 goals, 2 assists for 7 points. And now you can add another 6 goals, 2 assists in 4+ games for him. He's got the hot hand right now for the Flyers.
Yeah, Gendro had 2 goals last Tuesday night in the 3-1 win over the St. Cloud Cathedral Crusaders.
Here comes Kyler Schmidgall now trying to weave his way through. In the last second, puck taken away there by Suki. Inside of 6 to go. Icing coming up here on the Cardinals. Tell us about that Flyer goal.
Flyers tie at 10:05 of the first period for Lucas Gendro. He nets his 7th goal of the season. First assist, Luke Avery. Second assist, Ryan Othout. Gendro from Avery and Othout. 10:05 of period 1. We're tied at 1.
Well, that assist by Luke Avery extends his point streak now to 8 games. He had a 7-game point streak, and now you can make it 8, and that's his 10th point in 5+ games. There's a shot to goal! As the goal scored by Sam Jocelyn, and it's 2-1.
Jocelyn just ripped one high to the blocker's side of Isaac Collis to give the Alexandria Cardinals a 2-1 lead as they regain the lead they had earlier in the period. Time of the goal, 11:28 of the first period. That was a rocket that beat Collis as the Cardinals are back on top.
And for Jocelyn, it's his first of the season. So the first goal of the year for the senior defenseman, Sam Jocelyn, who's that third pair defense. So a big goal there for the Cardinals to regain that lead.
Scored by number 27, Sam Jocelyn. Single assist to number 6, Jacob Nicholson.
Nicholson will get the assist. He had the goal earlier, so 2 points for Jacob Nicholson already. And the Cardinals lead 2-1. Here's a 2-on-2 back the other way. Some room is Anderson. Fires a shot, sticked out of there by Collis. Picked up now by Nicholson as he's pasted to the wall. Anderson sends it through, nobody home. Instead, it'll be Gendro. Gendro at center. Moves ahead now to Walensky. Runs into the official as he was pushed into him by the goal scorer Jocelyn. Comes back out to center. Avery now. That puck was tipped. And the Flyers have to touch up. They do. That'll give the Cardinals a chance and Bassin to get it out to center ice. Pass now over to Breitzman. Steered away by the Flyers, back in the Cardinal zone. 4:30 to go here in the first. 3 goals already on the board and a 2-1 lead for the Cardinals of Alexandria. They get the trail. This is Young, going to play it off the boards dangerously. Actually, a give up there as Bassin had an opportunity to get it over to Berg, and Berg just couldn't handle it. Played all the way back down to the Cardinal zone now. Picked up here by Breitzman. Flyers and Majorly now have it in the corner. Back to Alex Tomo, who plays it in deep. He'll play it over to Young. Young now. Lost it there. Schneider in with it. Back to Young now. Young now, backhand attempt. No look there. Gets it back. Young with a shot. Fires that one just wide. And Schneider says enough is enough. I need a break. And he throws it all the way down for an icing.
Cardinals take the lead, 11:28 of the first period. First goal of the season for the senior Sam Jocelyn. Single assist, Jacob Nicholson. Jocelyn from Nicholson, 11:28 of the first period. It's 2-1, Alexandria.
You go back to that Gendro goal, too, that Avery had the one assist, Othout the other. With that assist for Othout, he's now got 14 points in 5+ games, and he's scored at least, or he's got a point in every single game this year. So a 13-point streak going, game streak with the point. And a 1-goal lead here for the Cardinals. Played out to center. This gets through everyone, but it'll be not enough for an icing. And actually almost Klimek picks it up, but it's Schmidgall that'll play it away. Schmidgall, pass over to Gendro. Now it's Othout at center. Ryan weaves his way and will dump it in. They'll chase after it. 3:05 to go here in the first. In the corner, touch there by Owen Klimek. Owen waiting. Get some help back there also by Schultz, and Schultz will carry it to the line, out to center, over to Evan Klimek. Klimek comes across the line, fires a shot on net. Collis makes the save, and he will cover up with 2:46 to go.
14th shot of the period for the Alexandria Cardinals, just 6 for the Little Falls Flyers. More time in the offensive zone here in period 1 for Alexandria compared to what the Flyers have seen on the other end of the rink.
Well, coming up in about 10 days, we've got a celebration coming up here, don't we, Jamie?
Yes, a 20-year reunion for the first state tournament team in Little Falls, the 2004-2005 team.
Yep, and that'll be coming up on Saturday, January 25th, and that'll be against Dodge County. That is a 3 o'clock start for the varsity, and everybody's welcome to attend. And we'll have in the intermission number 1, I believe they'll have a little ceremony and an introduction of all the players from that team. And as we mentioned that, coming up in intermission number 1 and 2 tonight, we're going to do more look back at that 04-05 team with some of the guys on that team. That coming up, and I believe some of the coaches too, if I remember right. So that'll be coming up in intermissions number 1 and 2 as we're down to the final 2 minutes. Here's a chance by Young. Save made by Locke. Puck has not been covered up yet, and now the official lost sight and blows the whistle to stop play.
Young took the shot. The puck was unattended. One of the Cardinals pushed it back to Locke so that he could cover it up and draw the faceoff. Young was in close, took a good aggressive shot. Locke made that save, but the Cardinals were very attentive to get that puck back to Locke so he could cover up.
Face off in the right circle to the left of the netminder, Grady Locke, who's seen 7 shots his way so far, 6 of 7 on the evening. Back out to neutral. Chisholm trying to move it ahead. Berg intercepts. Now we picked up by Gendro. Gendro will dump it in. Ryan Othout in the corner. Back to Avery. Avery comes in from the point. Back to Othout. Trying to get it down low now. This is Avery, sends it across. Nobody home for the Flyers. Now it is kept in on the left point there by Chisholm. Othout behind the net. Waiting, seeing if he can find somebody. Othout now the half wall. He'll play it down to Gendro. They'll cycle around. 1:14 to go here in the period. Gendro bottled up there by Schneiderin. Gendro now gets it back. Gendro trying to get into shooting. Got tripped up. Penalty coming here. That's an easy one to call. And the Flyers will go on the power play the first time tonight.
Good job by Gendro as he came from the left wing boards, cut to the net, drew the penalty at 15:55 of the first period. Little Falls will go to the power play for the first time tonight. They've scored 9 power play goals this season. Ryan Othout leads the way with 3, and this is the Little Falls Flyers' first power play unit on the ice.
Brody Berg goes to the box, 2 minutes for tripping. As you mentioned, 9 of 31, 29%. They have given up a shorthanded goal, but it was an empty net shorthanded goal. Here's a shot taken there by Avery. The blocker saved by Locke. 71.4% on the other side. The Cardinals have given up 10 power play goals. Maybe a little unusual for them. They're 25 of 35 on the kill. Tipped in front, saved by Locke. Back now to Chisholm. His shot hits traffic in front.
Oh, that was friendly fired. I think it hit Gendro.
And cleared the length of the ice all the way on Collis. 35 seconds to go here in the period. Minute 30 to go on the penalty time to Berg. Once again, you have that potential of that broken power play. Here comes Othout in, shot, save made there, and unable to hang on to it at first was Locke, but he does locate it and covers up.
Othout came racing in along the right side, took the shot. Eventually Locke is able to cover up as Little Falls is on their first power play of the night. Saturday afternoon in the overtime win against Proctor, the Flyers scored 2 goals on the power play late in the third period.
Face off in the right circle, draw one. Here comes General, backhand attempt, save, rebound is loose. Let's score! And putting it in, I believe, was Joey Walensky. And we're tied at 2.
Well, that's long overdue. Joey Walensky's had some great chances the last couple games, and Little Falls wins that faceoff. General makes his way to the net, and it's Joey Walensky mining hard, pushing hard, and getting his stick on it, knocking it past Locke to tie the game at 2. A power play marker for Little Falls at 16:43 of the first period.
8th of the season for Joey Walensky. His first power play goal of the season. He does have a shorty. It's his 8th career power play goal, and he has 48 goals in his career. Now gives him 95 points, and now he is just 5 away from becoming the 26th member of the 100-point club.
Walensky! Assist to number 10, Lucas Gendro, and number 22, Ryan Othout. Time of the goal.
So Gendro and Othout get assists. The goal by Walensky, a power play goal. We're tied at 2 with 10 seconds left. Quick shot off the draw. Save made there by Collis. His own Klimek just took that from the draw. Now tipped by Klimek and a save by Collis as the shot came from the right point from Jocelyn.
Oh, and Klimek went right through the Little Falls Flyers center, got a shot on net, and Collis made the save late in the period.
We've seen that many times back in the day, huh? With Ben Hanowski walking at the center and taking the shot.
That was a big save by Collis late in the period to keep the game tied at 2 as Klimek took that faceoff, went right through the Flyers center, got the shot on. And again, Collis was there to make a necessary save for Little Falls. Little Falls ties the game at 16:43 of the first period. A power play goal, Joey Walensky's 8th goal of the season. First assist, Lucas Gendro. Second assist, Ryan Othout. Walensky from Gendro and Othout, 16:43 of the first period on the power play. Little Falls and Alexandria tied at 2 after 1. Shots favor the Cardinals, 17-12.
Well, if you like offense, Jamie, I guess you're going to be watching an offensive game tonight. 4 goals already in period number 1.
And we've had 2 penalties in the first period. Little Falls was able to convert with their only power play. They've now scored on 3 consecutive power plays dating back to Saturday's game with Proctor.
All right. We mentioned the 04-05 team, the very first team to get to state. Of course, that was just one of 7 teams, but somebody had to start the trend, and obviously they did. We've got a celebration coming up. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but let's take a look back at that 04-05 season, and here it is right now on FMP.
Hello, Flyer hockey fans, and welcome to the 2004-2005 Coaches Edition of Flyer Hockey. I'm James Hershey, the current voice of the Little Falls Flyer hockey team. Joining me on the other side of the table is my partner, Jamie Pettit, and we have 2 of the 4 coaches that were on the 2004-2005 team, head coach Tony Kuchar and assistant coach John Majurley. Also coaches that year were Bob Stark and Adrian Hasbargen. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. Let's talk a little bit about the 04-05 season. Of course, this 04-05 season was the first year in school history that the hockey team went to the state tournament. We'll get to that in a little bit, but let's recap, I guess, the year before in 03-04. What kind of got you to 04-05? And I'll have Jamie start off with some of the jogging memory things so he can go from here.
Well, of course, Little Falls and Wadena Deer Creek played in the section championship in 2003-2004. That was the 3rd time that Wadena and Little Falls played that season. Your first game of the year was a 5-2 loss to Wadena Deer Creek, but I think where it really gets interesting is in February of that year, and Wadena Deer Creek is 19-0. It looks like they're sailing towards the number 1 seed. You guys come in with the undefeated Wolverine team. So you win the game, Tony, 7-4 to kind of fast forward ahead. And it's Wadena Deer Creek's first loss of the year. It turns out it is the only loss they had during the entire regular season. So as a 3 seed, you make it to the section championship game in 2004, and there's Wadena with just 1 loss. But you had won the most recent meeting between Wadena Deer Creek and Little Falls. Realistically, it looked like, that is going to be their best chance in a while to make it to the state tournament. It's a nail biter, and Wadena Deer Creek gets the game winning goal with less than a minute to go.
It was great play on his part, and I don't even know if I remember if he hit the kid and then picked up the puck, but I think it was somebody else that hit him, and then puck flew off his stick and they go on a breakaway to end the game.
So with that goal, Brandon Curry's game-winning goal, Wadena Deer Creek goes to the state tournament for the first and only time in team history, 2003-2004. Right. It would be your turn the next year, and we'll get to that. Of course, it would be a rematch in the section championship game. But after the dust settled, you lose another section championship game, but you had a lot of talent on that team in 2003-2004. You had additional talent coming in 2004, 2005. A couple weeks after the fact, absorbing the loss, you had to realize that you had a legitimate chance the next year to win the section championship.
It's nothing's a given. We found that out in hockey. It's just like you look at the year when we had the undefeated season, we went into double overtime. So nothing's a given. So as a coach, you never take things for granted. You're just kind of going. We just thought we were snake, but are we gonna ever get to the state tournament? 5 or 6 times that we've been to the championship or lose to the champions, and you're like, oh man, are we gonna ever get there? The kids are feeling the same way, so you kind of have to just group that in there and say, hey, when you're at home, think of this time, how many times they were stick handling or doing stuff outside of it. Maybe you can do that next year and work a little harder next summer so we can get an advantage on the next group.
And that's kind of where it leads us to now, to the 04-05 season. And of course, you let Wadena won that year, but the next 5 years, you were the team that everybody didn't like, I guess to say. And it started off in 04-05. Let's talk about, I guess, the kind of the team coming together, the players. Obviously, you just had graduated, your goaltender, so you had to fill that role, first of all. You also had a couple of kids coming back, and Stephen Fessler, Michael Lichtai, going to be their senior year. They're kind of probably the leaders. And then you had some younger guys coming up too, which we eventually deemed the diaper line that came up too. Talk about, I guess, the chemistry, the makeup of your team going into the preseason.
Well, most of it was Michael Lichtai and Steve Fessler. They're the leaders. Yeah. They had the drive, they had success and that stuff, and then you get the younger brother coming up, and of course Stephen was kind of leading him along, give him a hard time like older brothers do, and Jared kind of just goes, yeah, whatever, and he just natural scorer and just goes up and does what he does. He doesn't care, and Steve's like, come on, you got to do this, and he's pushing them all the time. And then, like you say, you have the in-between kids that are kind of just there to be there for the fun of it, and then they finally catch on to this, hey, this running thing's kind of cool, and that kind of thing. The other Ringwalskis and those kind of guys that were just, every time we had a argument in the locker room or we were mad at the kids, Ringwalski caught the brownies, the garbage can, papers, whatever. He was sitting on
water bottles.
He tend to get hit, so I think he would just put his helmet on in between periods sometimes. But it's those kind of things you remember because it was that kind of team where you could tell them what to do and run into the wall, and they'd say how many times you want us to do it. And then it was like I said, it was a pleasure to coach.
As varsity head coaches, you guys still were involved with the youth. I mean, you knew what you had coming. Yeah. You had the pulse of the youth. So you knew, obviously, we were well aware of the Fesslers, well aware of the Anowskis, and well aware of some of these other players that were going to come up and be so beneficial at the varsity level.
Yeah, and this group of kids didn't have that much success because, but when you put 3 or 4 years together, then you get some more talent up there where they start having the success. And we knew the Anowski group was having success at the youth level, and my kids, I had 4 boys in it, and I'm coming up and kind of giving Tony a heads up, hey, this is what's going on here, and he had a good ear to the ground of keeping a pulse on youth hockey, and you kind of know what's coming up through the system. And we pushed this group saying, hey, why don't you guys be the first group to go to state, instead of this group that's coming up that's having success, why don't you guys do it? Let's see what you guys can do. And they kind of accepted that role.
So you mentioned state tournament. This is your first state tournament team of 5 to come in a row. 21 wins, 10 losses in the year 04-05. Well, you finished out the year. You beat Wilmer 1-0. You beat Wadena a second time 5-1, and you finished the section 11-0. And it might have been the first time you were ever undefeated in the section.
Had to be.
I think it would be because you have success, but you don't remember it. But when you have something like that, where you're going, when you have that kind of success, that kind of stuff kind of stands out. Where a team can do that to a section.
So the section.
It was pretty tight. It's one of those things. But when you beat them before, we kept warning the team, this is not going to be the same team you met before. It was pretty easy games, that kind of stuff when we went through it. But we needed every player to step up and do something special for the game and that stuff. And as the game went along, you could see that kind of stuff happen, which I'm sure we'll talk about later on, where you have some of these plays that happen. You're just like, wow, this might just happen for us for once here because things are starting to bounce our way. And that, so when you prepare for a game, you never let the kids relax, but you don't want them too tight that they can't skate either. So you kind of got to keep a happy medium in there. When you have the diaper dandies out there going around, and then you have Steve and Lichtai out there, that can control a game. It's nice that you can have older kids that can control it, the other ones can contribute underneath them too.
Absolutely.
Well, just as a point of reference, going into this championship game, John, you were the head coach in the 1993 championship game. that Little Falls lost in multiple overtimes to St. Cloud Cathedral, correct?
Yes.
And so, Tony, you had been in 4 section championship games, had 3 losses to Fergus Falls, and the loss to Wadena Deer Creek the previous season. So I'm thinking you guys came into that game hoping that we're finally going to get over that.
Well, it's funny because Tony and I always talk on the bus or sometimes in the game. How you feeling about this, John? I go, I don't have a good feeling about this one, Tony. Or we would say, I feel pretty good about it. You know, you can kind of get a feel for it. And that one was a tough one because we were both kind of just a little nervous ourselves and trying not to show it to the kids, where you have to be a little more in control of it. You know?
It was tough too, and again, we beat Wadena twice that year, and you got to play them a third time. And yeah, kids are funny. I mean, you probably had some of the kids thinking that this is going to be our year, and then other kids, probably the younger kids probably felt like that. And Stephen and Michael were probably pretty tense about the whole game.
And once again, that was a chat there with the head coach, Tony Kuchar, along with assistant coach John Majerle, myself, and then the other guy over there, Thumper, going there with the the leg the whole entire time was Jamie Pettit.
That was the night I had that leg spasm. I think we recorded for almost 3 hours that night in the locker room.
Oh, I forgot about that. Period 2 coming up.
You sure didn't hesitate to bring it up.
Oh, no, we can see that Thumper going all the way. All right, let's talk about this game. 2-2 is the score after 1. Give us that summary of period 1.
Alexandria is 6-6. The Little Falls Flyers are 7-4-1. The Flyers are from Section 5A. Alexandria from Section 6A. Cardinals get the icebreaker at the 7-minute mark of the first period. Third goal of the season for Jacob Nicholson. First assist, Cameron O'Shea. Second assist, Sam Jocelyn. Cardinals 1-0 lead at the 7-minute mark of the first period as Jacob Nicholson nets his third of the season. Little Falls would tie it at 10:05 of the first period. The 7th goal of the season for Lucas Gendro. First assist, Luke Avery. Second assist, Ryan Othout, as Avery takes the shot and a nice redirect by Gendro in front to tie the game at 1. Alexandria regains the lead at 11:28 of the first period. First goal of the season for Sam Joslin. Single assist, Jacob Nicholson. Joslin from Nicholson, 11:28 of the first. Cardinals had a 2-1 lead. Flyers tie it, 16:43 of the first period on the power play. Joey Walensky's 8th goal of the season. Lucas Gendro and Ryan Othout receive assists as Walensky working hard near the net and is able to put it past Locke to tie the game at 2 with a power play goal. Shots on goal in the first period, 17 for Alexandria, 12 for Little Falls. Collis was 15 of 17 in the Flyer net. Locke was 10 of 12 in the Cardinal net. Both teams 1 2-minute penalty in the first period. Little Falls 1 for 1 on the power play. Alexandria 0 for 1 with the man advantage. Cardinals, Flyers tied at 2 after 1.
And here's Othout with a quick shot with a save made there by Locke. As the puck's still down in the Cardinal zone as we are 40 seconds into this second period. Got some interesting scores to tell you about in just a moment here. And icing the call. Well, we go to the second period over in Pine City, and Monticello leading 1-0 in that game with about 7 minutes left. The game that's surprising me is in the second period. It is a St. Cloud Cathedral whitewashing right now, I guess, of Northern Lakes. 5-1. St. Cloud Cathedral leading Northern Lakes.
Well, the Crusaders woke up after they beat Monticello 2-1 on Saturday afternoon. Last week, it didn't start out good for St. Cloud Cathedral, losing to Little Falls 3-1, losing to Hermantown 6-0. But then they beat Monticello on home ice 2-1 Saturday, and tonight doing quite well against Northern Lakes.
Yeah, and that's up at Breezy too. So a 5-1 lead in that one. I think it was late in the second period that I saw on that. Here we're tied at 2. At center ice, this is Pfeffer. And a wrist shot and glove save made there by the netminder Collis coming from Anderson.
We've got kind of a Section 6A, Section 5A challenge tonight, as St. Cloud Cathedral from 5A taking on Northern Lakes from 6A. And as you said, Cathedral has a 5-1 lead, and then we have in front of us tonight Section 6A's Alexandria and Section 5A's Little Falls. So we've got the 6A, 5A challenge tonight.
And of course, Alexandria and Northern Lakes play each other this Saturday. That'll be a big game, and that's going to be the second time those two teams play. Northern Lakes won the first matchup, so the Cardinals are trying to get the second win. And as we've been talking about on our broadcast, is the second win more important than the first one? Well, obviously, if you've lost the first one, it's definitely more important. If you've won the first one, you want to win the second one too, so you get the season sweep.
That'll be Saturday afternoon in Alexandria.
Yep, so that'll be interesting to see how Northern Lakes recovers. I'm not sure if Northern Lakes has a game coming up on Thursday or not. I'm sure you'll check on that and let us know there, Section 6A secretary.
It might be in the section report that was emailed last night about midnight.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're staying up later and later.
Well,
what's going on?
I had a Wadena Deer Creek Prairie Center broadcast last night.
Yes, I forgot about that. Normally they're around 11 o'clock or just before 11. Here's a shot that just tanked off the side of the net. I think that hit the far pipe by Ryan Othout.
Northern Lakes goes to River Lakes Thursday night. That won't be easy.
No, so another 5A school. Yeah. And then, of course, Northern Lakes in Little Falls will be playing back here a week from tonight.
Yes.
On FMP. That'll be our next Flyer Media Production hockey game. As the Flyers, after tonight, will go on the road on that weekend road trip up to Thief River Falls and Crookston. We'll have those games for you on the radio, on Little Falls Radio, Q92 WYRQ, and streaming online at fallsradio.com. All the road games on the radio, all the home games on Flyer Media Production here in the regular season. All 25 games will be covered for the Flyers. We got you covered this year. Back to the point, shot taken there, and the save made by Collis coming off the stick there of Nick Schultz.
Shot came from the blue line. Collis slid to his left, is able to gobble up that puck to make the save, and Little Falls will have a defensive zone face-off with their third line, featuring Derek Young at center. Second line, excuse me.
So after two, it is 5-1 Crusaders over the Lightning. That up at Breezy.
Looks like Mason Othout's moved up to play with Derek Young and Bo Majurley.
Yep. At neutral ice here now, it's Suki dumping it in. Tyler Schmidgall plays it out to center ice. Fired back in once again here by Schultz. Now picked up by Alex Toma. Toma had it taken away there by Klimek, that being Evan. In the corners, Mason Othout. Schmidgall coming to help out. Taken away by Nicholson. He's got a goal tonight for the Cardinals. Nicholson in the corner. And now it is Schmidgall. Will bring it to the line and out to center. Tipped ahead there by Mason Othout. He'll go off on a change. And played back out to center ice by the Cardinals. Dumped back in by Ryan Othout. This is Peffer now with it. That hits a stick and goes all the way down. No icing here. And it'll be Alex Toma going behind his own netminder. Toma plays it to the line. Held in there by Schneiderin. And then goes up into the Cardinal bench for a whistle and a stoppage of play.
Coming into the game, Alexandria had 13 players that had at least one goal scored in a game throughout the year. That goes to 14 now with Jocelyn's goal in the first period. So 14 players have scored at least one goal for Alexandria this season.
Yeah, we were talking about that with Joey Hanowski. He was saying the Cardinals, they have a wide, balanced attack. It's not just one or two guys. They've got a bunch of guys that can put the puck in the net, as you said. Now they're up to 14.
And the Little Falls Flyers have 8 players with at least one goal this season.
Puck played to the line, out to center ice here. Bouncing puck now. Who's going to pick it up? It'll be Othout. He'll play it back to Chisholm. Sends it over to Avery. Avery back to Chisholm. Chisholm now moves it ahead here to Othout. Ryan Othout's got some room to skate. Ryan comes in, left wing side, trying to get around there. Schneider, and good job there by Schneider to make sure he didn't get around him. And then get some help from Berg. Can't clear it out of the zone, though. This is picked up by Walensky. Backhand attempt. Locke with a save there. Walensky walked in and was able to get a backhand shot off. Played back through everyone. This should be an icing, and it will be coming up here As we'll bring it back down to the Cardinal zone with 11:07 to go. We're tied at 2.
Breitzman tried to find Basson and Berg through the neutral zone. It didn't connect with either one of them, goes all the way through. And the Cardinals called for icing, face-off to the right of senior goaltender Grady Locke.
Face-off in the left circle to the right of the netminder Locke. And the draw one here by Little Falls. Here's Schmidgall with his shot towards the net. Back out to center ice it comes. Bringing it across the line this time is Carlson. Now it's Klimek with a shot there. At a golden opportunity. It comes all the way back down into the Cardinal zone. Here's Young trying to get to it. Gets it to Mason Oathout. Mason Oathout slides over to Majurley and a shot there and a save made by Locke. Majurley now trying to find that loose puck. It comes back out to center ice. Schmidgall will play it to the Cardinal line. And this will flip up and out of play, and we'll do it all over again.
How many chances did Bo Majurley have Saturday afternoon in the 3-2 overtime win against Proctor? 2 or 3 really good chances, and now we had another chance tonight here between the hash marks, and Locke made the save.
That he did. He had a lot of chances, and he's one of them, I think, that's just about ready to break here to score a goal, as he is yet to score a goal this year, at least on that second line. He's the only one that hasn't scored yet. Of course, now you've got the makeshift line with Mason Oathout out there, but Mason does have 3 goals on the season. And right now is that third line with the lone switch is Liam Toma now out there with Brady Dick and Tyler Rakowski. Back to the point it comes to Schultz. Shot there, and that one somehow stayed out of the net. Almost looked like it might have went off the pipe from behind. Back out to center ice it comes. Bouncing puck in, Collis. And he finds it and will cover up with 9:52 to go. But that last shot, a dangerous shot.
It was kind of short-hopped Collis. He was down on 2 knees and with a little bit of difficulty made that save and covered up. With the defensive zone face-off, the Flyers will come with their first line, led by Ryan Oathout, the center, Gendro and Walensky on the wings. Gendro and Walensky have scored for Little Falls tonight.
Cardinals trying to keep it in, and it'll be played out to center ice by Walensky. Oathout back to Walensky, give and go. Trying to go back to Oathout, intercepted, however, there by Berg. Plays it out to center. Avery now will dump it in, send it around. First to be touched there by Suki. He'll get it to the line, but not out as Walensky keeps it in. Now a quick shot taken there by Oathout, and we've seen some quick wristers by Ryan Oathout this year that have gone in.
Ryan Oathout got to the top of the right face-off circle, a rising shot, and it was directed out of play. High above the Cardinal net into the safety netting. 22-16, the Alexandria Cardinals have the shots on goal advantage. In this period, Alexandria has 5 shots on goal, the Flyers with 4.
Face off in that right circle to the left of the netminder. Locke held in here now by Avery. Shot there, that one high. It'll come all the way back out to center. Gathered in here by Chisholm. He'll play it over now to Walensky. Back now to Avery. Chisholm now comes in, fires a shot, goes off the skate there of the defenseman, Schneiderin. Flyers dump it back in. They have to touch up. They do. Picked up here by Peffer. Gets it to Schneiderin. And he'll play it out to center. Walensky now with it. Now back the other way comes Grady Olson. Olson's all stitched up, ready to play the second period.
Yeah, missed some time in the first period.
This is Basson. Plays it back to Peffer, and a glove save made there by Collis. And he holds on.
Well, Peffer stepped in from the left point, took that shot. Glove save made by Collis.
Talking about Isaac Collis, in his last 4 games, he's 4-0. Has a goals against of 1.5. He's given up 6 goals coming into tonight. And his save percentage just under 96%. It's 95.8%. 136 saves, 142 shots. And tonight, he's 21 of 23. I would have to say that Isaac Collis is locked in right now.
No surprise.
And he is
consistently, we see that from Isaac Collis.
He's hit the hot streak here, and prove me wrong, he's one of the best goaltenders in Class A.
You could make a strong argument for that.
In the corner now, Schmidgall with it, skates out to center ice. Kyler is definitely playing a lot better the last few games. He seems like he's getting more confident carrying that puck out. I think he's due to score a goal here sometime too, along with Bajurley. Both of those are out there right now. Puck is intercepted here by Evan Klimek. And Klemek's pass just out of the reach of his brother Owen. And it'll be picked up here by Schmidgall. Over to Majurley, out to center to Young. Now back here to Schmidgall. Schmidgall comes across the blue line, puts on the brakes, and then lost the puck there to Peffer. Now coming off the bench is Brady Dick. He'll play it in deep. Peffer with it. Sends it over to the far side. That's Anderson. Big hit at center ice that time between Avery and O'Shea. Here's Avery with the loose puck at his own line. Avery now trying to find somebody. Liam Toma is who he is looking for. And this will send all the other way. I think it'll have enough to get across for an icing, and it will. With 7:06 to go in the second, we're still tied at 2.
Just had enough to get across the end line in the Little Falls Flyers zone. Alexandria has goals tonight from Jacob Nicholson and the defenseman Sam Joslin. Little Falls has countered with 2 of their own, Lucas Gendro and Joey Walensky.
Face off in the right circle to the netminder of Locke. Played back out to center ice it comes. And right at the line, it'll be dumped in here. Cardinals have to touch up, they do. Back to get it first is Avery. They'll send it around, but held in at the left point there by Carlson. That'll be Liam Toma playing it out to Dick, and Dick will send it in. We'll get a line change here. Now pass coming out in front, but right on the tape there of O'Shea. O'Shea gets it now up there to Berg. Berg taken out of the play is going hard into the corner there. Was Chisholm now tipped in front. Save made there by Collis. And he holds on, and then we get a little extra work after the whistle between Chisholm and Berg. I don't think anything's going to come of this.
Well, Brody Berg wears number 11 for the Alexandria Cardinals. He's a junior. He scored 2 goals in the 5-1 win last season for the Alexandria Cardinals here at the Exchange Arena, mixing it up in front of the Flyer net after the whistle.
Draw cleanly won here by the Flyers, and they'll play it out to center ice. This is tipped there by Othout. Intercepted back the other way comes Basson. He'll dump it in, chase after it. Gendro there, and moved ahead, but not out of the zone. Basson going after. Walensky's going to get there first. Walensky hit up high there I believe that was Berg. But that was close. Almost looked like he got him with an elbow. Here's Gendro with a shot. Save is made. Rebound is loose. Locke has no idea where it is. Now digging after it there was Othout. The Cardinals didn't like that, and we've had some chippy play here in the last 30 seconds, Jamie.
It was okay for Othout to do that. That puck was not covered. It was loose near the right goalpost from our perspective. It would be to the left of Locke in the Cardinal net, but I could see the puck unattended. It wasn't covered. Othout was jamming away at it. That initial shot kind of went up in the air, dropped down, and Little Falls was doing everything possible to get a stick on it, but could not get it in to the Cardinal nets.
Yeah, Grady Locke had made the save, but it popped up and then over him, and he'd lost where it was, and he basically did the splits between both the pipes just to keep the puck out.
It was right near that goalpost.
Down to 5:40 to go here in a scoreless second period. All the scoring back in the first period. Cardinals had a 1-0 lead. Flyers tied it up. Cardinals had a 2-1 lead. Flyers tied it up. That's where we're at right now, 2-2. Played in deep here by Toma. Now this is back out to the stick of Alex Toma. Toma gives it off here to Schmidgall. Schmidgall at the line here, Majurley. Pass it over to Othout. That's Mason Othout, but shoots it right into Schneiderin. Good pass there between Majurley and the catch there by Mason Othout. Now picked up here by Young. Back now to Majurley, trying to get it back to Young, and played out to center ice. Moved ahead now, Owen Klimek with it. Klimek will drop it off to his brother, tries to. A good job there by Alex Tolman to get in front of it. And then played out to center ice with Majurley as he is taken down at the line. Anderson now will skate it out to center. Anderson lost the handle. Rakowski touched it briefly. Brought across now by O'Shea. Sent it behind the netminder Collis. Played around by Alex Toma. Held in, however, here by Jocelyn. Sent it across. And it'll be picked up here. Moved ahead by Liam Toma. Going back to get it there will be Nicholson. He'll play it out to neutral. Get some help them from O'Shea. Tipped ahead now. This is Nicholson. Comes across the line. He's got one of the 2 goals tonight. Nicholson gets it behind the net. Rakowski lost it to Nicholson. And then it'll be Liam Toma that'll flip it out to center ice. Glove down here by Suki. He's bumped up, tripped up. There was Dick. Play continues on. Now on the left side, this is Suki with it. Comes across the line. Shot taken there. The save by Collis off the stick of Brody Berg.
Yeah, Berg rifles a shot from the left side. Glove save made by Collis. Couple good shifts for the Little Falls Flyers' third line in this period. That third line in the second period features Dick, Rakowski, and Liam Toma.
Also getting more minutes, too, more time, not just a quick 20-second. They were out there 30-plus seconds.
And I think that's a function of the fact that Alexandria, for the most part, has played 3 lines throughout the game.
Right.
So we've seen the Cardinals' third line of O'Shea, Anderson, and Nicholson regularly throughout these first couple periods.
Well, this is the first time the Flyers have had pretty much the entire team available to use at the varsity level.
That's been a while.
I mean, it's the first time pretty much all year. Puck now put in the corner. And trying to dig it out of there was Walensky. As Basson had the puck taken away from him. Schultz now lost the puck. Back here down to Chisholm. Throws it over to Avery. Avery waits. Now takes a shot. That was partially stopped there by Brody Berg. And it comes in. An easy save by Locke.
Avery's shot was blocked by Berg. It still had enough momentum to get through to the Cardinal netminder Grady Locke. 25-19. Alexandria has the shots on goal advantage. 8 for the Cardinals in the second. Little Falls with 7.
Don't forget, coming up here in the second intermission, we'll continue on once again with the talk of that 04-05 season with head coach Tony Kuchar and also assistant coach John Madrilli, myself and Thumper, that being Jamie Pettit.
Yeah. We had a good time that night. I believe we were there for almost 3 hours recording in the Flyer locker room.
Yeah, Mark did a great job of whittling that down, at least
yes, that's right.
the short segments. He probably spent about 5 hours just trying to get us down to about 20 minutes. This one will just be touched, they say, by Gendro, so no icing. Down to 2:35 to go here in the second. We're tied at 2. Here's Klemick at center. This is Evan. Up to Owen, Klemick. And gets it across the line, plays it into the corner, goes off the FMP sign. With 2:26 to go.
Alexandria is on the road Thursday night. They're at Sartell. Ryan Hacker's Sartell Sabres. Sartell is from Section 8 AA, and of course the Little Falls Flyers. They're off until Friday night. Road trip, overnight trip. Thief River Falls on Friday, Crookston Saturday. And no, we're not at the Ralph Engelstad on Friday night. We're at Huck Olson Memorial.
We're at the Huck, yeah. Bring your miner's cap. You're going to need it so we can see everything.
I've got to bring a desk lamp with me up to the old press box in Thief River so I can read my notes.
I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to have to bring. I might bring just a spotlight. How's that? Should I bring a big old spotlight? Like, you know, like you see on TV.
Oh, yeah.
The TV
that
cameras are shooting at you.
That would work.
So we could just blow up the whole area. Will probably be a distraction to the game because it'll be like, what's going on up there?
Yeah,
ESPN
right.
up there or something? No, it's just James and Jamie.
Yeah, that's exactly what the conclusion would be.
2:17 to go. Backhand attempt there wide. And off the stick there, Berg. Berg picks it back up, tripped up there. Play continues on. Sticked away there by Collis. Young gets it up here to Mason Oathout. Can't clear it out of the zone yet. 2 minutes to go here in the second. We're tied at 2. Behind the net now. This is O'Shea with it. Back to the point. Shot taken there, hit traffic. Here's Majurley with a partial breakaway. Majurley getting slashed a few times. Picked up here now by Mason Oathout. Shot on net. Locke makes the save. And will hold on. And Majurley trying to work out that left leg a little bit as he got slashed multiple times.
Hudson Carlson was back defending for the Alexandria Cardinals as Bo Majurley had the rush. Unable to get that puck past Locke, but another good shift for the Little Falls Flyers. Second line, and this period, that second line has Young, Majurley, and Mason Othout.
Two nearly back the other way in a partial breakaway. This time would have been Breitzman. Coming across the line, Bassett over to Breitzman, passing it back. They tried to get it back there to Bassett, but unable to do so.
Well, Chisholm dove in front of that centering attempt.
Good job there for the Cardinals. Down to minute 20 to go here. In the corner, played to the line, out to center. Gendro now coming up, one-on-one. He's got a man coming down, fires a shot and missed the net completely. Well, I'm sure he'd like to have that back, and maybe he didn't know that Othout was coming in on the left wing.
It's almost like he rushed it a little bit. Ryan Othout was trailing the play slightly.
Othout, pass quick there to Walensky, and the save made by Locke. Little give and go that time. Now tipped here by Othout. Locke coming out, plays it away from Gendro. Under a minute to go in the period. This is Schultz out to center, picked up here by Walensky. Comes across the line, fires a shot, he scores! You know where he put that? Where Grandma hides the cookies, and it's 3-2.
Joey Walensky high to the blocker's side at 16:20 of the third period as the Flyers regroup within center ice, and then it's Walensky releasing one, and he beats Locke again high to the blocker's side to give Little Falls a 3-2 lead. Second of the game for Joey Walensky, 9th of the season as the Flyers get a valuable one late in period 2.
And add another point, now with 96 points in his career as he's getting closer, but more importantly gives the Flyers their first lead of the game tonight at 3-2.
Joey Walensky, unassisted at 16:20.
So an unassisted goal for Walensky, even strength. As Jamie mentioned, his 9th of the season, his 49th career goal. So one shy from 50 in his career. And we're down to the final 17 seconds. Cardinals on the attack, seeing if they can get at least a shot or two off here before going into the locker room. In the corner now, played back here. Now this is Owen Klimek. He'll slide it over to the left side to Peffer. His shot goes off the back wall there. Down to the final second, and that'll do it. The horn sounds. 2 periods complete, and the Flyers have their first lead of the game at 3-2.
As Joey Walensky scores at the 16:20 mark of the second period, his second of the game, 9th of the season, an unassisted goal late in the period, and Little Falls will take that 3-2 lead into the second period intermission. Walensky crawling closer to that 100-point club. I have a feeling over the weekend he's going to be inducted into the club on the overnight trip.
Well, hopefully that happens. That would be great for him. And of course, his partner, his buddy that came in the same time as he did, his freshman year, Luke Avery, did it last weekend. Hopefully he can do it this weekend. But how about this? The Flyers scoring 2 goals in the final minutes of each period.
Coaches love that. I know when Coach Kuchar was the head coach here in Little Falls, 28 seasons as the head coach, and that was one thing that he liked to keep track of. How many goals did Little Falls score late in the period? Well, they've got 2 goals late in the period tonight, and it's given them a 3-2 lead after 2 periods of play. Shots favor Alexandria, 26-23.
You mentioned Tony Kuchar. We had a chance to sit down with him last year along with John Majurley, talking about that great 2004-2005 run in the very first state tournament. And of course, don't forget, coming up on Saturday, January 25th, right here at the Exchange Arena, they will have a celebration to honor that 04-05 season in their very first trip to the state tournament for the Flyers. Of course, this is year number 45 of the Flyers. They've had 7 trips, but that was trip number 1. That'll be a 3 o'clock game here Saturday against Dodge County. We'll have it on FMP, but we'd love to have you down here at the rink for that game.
I have a question. They just did Chuck a Puck.
Yeah.
Was that a responsible adult that went out and selected the winner?
I don't know.
Oh, it was Wesley. Oh, it was Wesley Wojtaszek. Okay, I just wanted to make sure it was a responsible adult.
Wow. Wait till I tell him that when we get in after the game here. He might not allow you back. It's a good thing It's a good thing he'll be my partner a couple of times when you're taking a break from us. So.
Well, I didn't know it was him.
Oh,
That's why I was asking you.
Okay. All right, let's get back to that 04-05 season, and here is part 2 of that interview with Tony and John.
You got off to another good start. Dustin Postel takes a penalty 45 seconds into the game, and 12 seconds into the power play, one of the diaper liners, Bo Hanowski, scores. You got a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, anytime that you can score first, that was one of our goals that we had on our goal sheet is make sure you score first, make sure, opportunity. And I think that year too is we had a fairly good power play. So it was good to get out. It probably settled everybody down a little bit. The excitement in that building, again, I can't say enough about how we enjoyed that atmosphere, win or lose the year before or this year. But
you kind of get the shakes talking about
that's why I go on that YouTube and
if you look up there,
it's right
which
up
the cameras can't see, there's a picture of you guys there with the whole team.
Right.
It's got to be a cool moment.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Well, Steve Fessler scores 50 seconds later, even strength. Well, now you're up 2-0. And I'm sure from your perspective on the bench, you're thinking, we want to keep this up. I mean, we want to see how far we can extend this lead in the first period, but it ends 2-0 after 1.
And I think anytime you get up, though, you at least I always thought that, hopefully we can maintain this. Hopefully we can get this, and we got people excited and 2-0, and we're gonna win. And so, just the fact that we can get into the locker room 2-0 probably was a blessing for us.
And it comes down to history too, where we were both there when the Herman brothers were there, and we were winning that game, and ended up losing it in the third period. That against Fergus Falls, and of course, so you keep that stuff in the back of your head because a 2-0 lead is hard to keep. Again, you don't want the kids to get oversighted, lose their attention because they're in there, we scored 2 goals, and then they get all riled up. No, it's like, hey, here's what we're doing. And Tony did a good job of just saying, hey, we're going to stick with what we've been doing. Let's not change a thing. Let's just keep this forecheck and just go. We see a lot of teams will go into a different forecheck and kind of sit back and play more defense. And with that group, you just let them go.
So Joey Cotton gets a power play goal in the second period. Only goal of the second period. Flyers have a 3-0 lead after 2. You've got to feel pretty good about going into the third period. I mean, John, what was it like? You're at the Runestone between the second and third. No figure skaters or anything in between
periods. It was tough because usually I was in charge of the defense, and Tony and I would always have 4 defense challenges in there. And it was one of those things I remember saying, we can't let them score, we win. Yeah. And I always preach, you always want to end your season with a win. It's the best way to end a season. We've only done it like 3 times in the history of the thing, but you're just going, you guys, you don't understand where you're at, but just you stay focused, keep in front of the net, and I think if you watch one of the videos, you'll see the defense play phenomenal.
Yeah.
We had goalies all over the place, and then I remember that Fessler goal, that new goalie, he did make 3 saves, and finally it was Steve having the maturity and just taking the fucking weight from the fall one more time and just shelved him on it. Yeah, but then I think it was in that second period where Matt Boone came sprawling across the crease and dove at a wide open net, and he kind of blocked the shot.
Yeah, and I think that's on the video also it was the second period, John. It was
because we both looked at each other going.
Yeah, he dove, was going in and dove and knocked it out. So
it was another overachiever.
Yeah,
the kids were just playing way above what they're
Jimmy
supposed to.
Pender had some great hits, big hits during the game, and yeah, it was a lot of good
small hits with Jimmy Pender.
No, he's a big kid. So, yeah, he had one big one on the blue line. I don't know who it was, but during that game.
Yeah, but I think even Michael Lickguy had one in there.
Yes, he did. Yeah. Well, he made the video, so he had to get one of his only hits of the year. So I'm just kidding, but yeah,
it was a good hit.
Yeah, it was a good hit. So yeah. And we tease him about that. I tease Steven Fessler all the time about not going in the corner ever. So
yeah, Tony, every time Steve would show up, he goes, "Hey, Steve, come over here for a second. Over the corner." But I mean, even with Michael Lichtai making that hit, you got your senior goal scorers making hits on the ice.
Yeah.
You know, they were going out of their way to show that, hey, we're into this too.
Yeah.
And it just picked up the whole team, and they just got fired.
They made you earn it in the third, but at 11:43 of the third period, Steve Fessler gets the goal. So triple zeros on the scoreboard. You beat the Wolverines 4-1, and the Little Falls Flyers go to the state tournament for the first time. What was your initial reaction, Tony? I mean, did you knock somebody over?
No,
I mean,
I
we
think
had
Sean
the,
and I hugged each other,
Okay.
and Starkey, and we all were. I think that. I mean, it was just, I guess, a dream come true for anybody that had been in Flyer hockey. I mean, proud of the kids, proud of all the things that happened, but you know, I mean, we did it also for the community and for all the kids that suffered through multiple years of getting their butts kicked, and yeah, it was a very proud moment, I think, for all of us.
It's like they always say that after the game, the last 5 seconds after the game are the best, because that's when everybody gets along and that kind of stuff. So you see the kids out there, but we didn't know how to act. We're just like, we finally got the monkey off our back, and we're like, oh, you know, we were so happy. We're just like, when we look at the kids, we're like, oh man, that's a huge, big thing for the community to have happen. That you've been looking 10, 15 years ago, and you get close, and then finally you get this team. No accolades or nothing coming into it, but they finally get it done against a team that beat them the year before.
You mentioned the community, and I guess I'm kind of curious about, obviously it's the first time that the hockey program ever gone to state. What was it like through the community leading up to that state tournament game?
It was great, because I came from Grand Rapids, and we went to state tournaments a lot in the 70s and 80s, and that's what I grew up with. And one of the first things I mentioned to Tony, God, we always got an escort out of town, a police escort. Oh yeah, Jimmy Pender. His dad's the chief of police. We arranged it, and we had a beautiful send-off and all that kind of stuff out of town, and the kids were kind of excited about that. So it all started there. We had a rally at the school, a send-off at the school, and then Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Got to do Dairy Queen.
Good old Dairy Queen.
Yeah, that was, But yeah, I came from International Falls. I mean, I went as a fan a couple times, never as a player. So, but always had a fun time down there, and it was just awesome. And I just don't think that our kids knew what they were getting into when we got there. I mean, it's a whole big thing. Of a lot of just a lot of bright lights and things that boy, that first time was amazing, but it was also a big learning lesson for not only for the coaching staff, but for everybody to be down at the state tournament. I was always told that it brings the community together, and a lot of times when the hockey team was going to the state tournament, the wrestling team was going to the state tournament, and the boys basketball team was going to the state tournament. Happened a couple times, so it was a great time in Flyer time with lots of teams going to the state tournament, and I think that the fans did an awesome job for us when they went down there.
I was surprised how many people went down there, because they said shut off the lights and leave town. But the high school league you got to remember, high school hockey is the big ticket in Minnesota. The high school league does a tremendous job putting on a hockey tournament. I mean, they give you they have the Bauer place, they sharpen your skates, you get all these little knickknacks in the locker room and all that kind of stuff. And they put you in front of the big lights, and you got to be ready for it.
I'm just curious, because obviously this community, great rich history, basketball was huge, and obviously this was the first time the hockey program went, and obviously it's starting to slowly turn over maybe some of the community a little bit to realize this hockey program was something. Just like you guys both mentioned, Grand Rapids, well known for hockey, International Falls, well known for hockey, but when you thought of Little Falls, it was a baseball town, it was a basketball town, until this first state tournament, which really turned it into a hockey town.
Right. And I think that all goes back to, like, when you go to the history of the whole hockey thing, how it all started out with just a couple guys saying, hey, let's put up a rink, and then get some coaches together, get these kids together, get something going, and then to finally have us come through, Tony with his background in hockey, and we bring International Falls and Grand Rapids competitive into a little town, and the kids buy into the system. It was really nice, and also the town gets behind you because they're like, hey, we're having success here, and then you also get the town behind you. There's no better feeling than that when you can walk out on the ice with a bunch of kids, and you're just there to watch them.
And I think from the standpoint of putting Little Falls on the map for a little bit through other people or other coaches, and that kind of was the start of a great run, but it was also a start of hey, Little Falls is pretty good at hockey now.
And once again, that is a look back at the conversation that myself, along with Jamie Pettit, also known as Thumper in our interviews, which, by the way, our director, Mark Deal, mentioned that you do a great job with interviews. Just got to be a little easier on the leg, maybe.
From now on, we need some Flyer Media Production tablecloths. We need to spring for some tablecloths to dress up that table, and then I can hide my legs underneath a Flyer Media Productions tablecloth. It'd be good advertising.
It's not going to take much to hide your legs, that's for sure. I mean, you're not that tall, so.
Well, the full interview can be seen at the LFCS TV YouTube channel. So go subscribe to the LFCS TV YouTube channel. While you're subscribing, look up that full interview. It's 90 minutes in length that James and I did with the former head coach of the Little Falls Flyers, Tony Kuchar, and former assistant coach for the Little Falls Flyers, John Majurley. And John's son, Bo, has had a nice night for the current Little Falls Flyers.
That he has, and of course that leads up to also coming up on Saturday, January 25th, here at the Exchange Arena. They will honor that 04-05 team, the very first team to go to the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament, and that's celebrating 20 years of that. That celebration will be here on Saturday the 25th as they will take on the Dodge County, I think they're the Wildcats still, aren't they?
That's right.
Yep, and of course head coach Tony Kuchar knows all about the Wildcats, and so do we. All right, let's take a look at the second period summary. Only one goal to tell you about, and it was the Flyers.
Alexandria is 6-6. The Little Falls Flyers are 7-4-1. Little Falls from 5A, Alexandria from 6A. The two teams traded goals in the first period. Alexandria had first period goals from Jacob Nicholson and the defenseman Sam Joslin. Flyers got first period goals from Lucas Gendro and Joey Walensky. The Walensky goal at the end of period one was on the power play. Just one in the second at 16:20 late in the period. Joey Walensky nets his 9th goal of the season as he picks off a clearing attempt from the Alexandria Cardinals in the neutral zone, marches in, and is able to beat Locke in the Alexandria Cardinal net to give the Little Falls Flyers a 3-2 lead. Shots on goal in the second, 11 for Little Falls, 9 for Alexandria. Through two periods, the Cardinals have a 26-23 shots on goal advantage. Junior goaltender Isaac Collis in the Flyer nets 24 of 26 through two periods. The senior in the Cardinal net is Grady Locke, and through two periods, Locke is 20 of 23. No penalties in the second period. Both teams had a penalty back in period one. Little Falls is 1 for 1 on the power play. Alexandria 0 for 1 with the man advantage. Flyers hold a 3-2 lead as we begin period 3.
Final at Breezy Point Arena. It was St. Cloud Cathedral 6, Northern Lakes 1, and late in the third period in Pine City, it is Monticello 2, Pine City nothing.
Those are two key games tonight. Two very important games.
All right, third period is underway as the bouncing puck comes in on the netminder, that being Locke. And the first save here of period number 3. A 1-goal lead for the Flyers. Here's Basin coming across the line. He'll drop it back there, and it's gathered in here by Ryan Olthout. Olthout plays it to the line. Out at neutral, picked up by Berg. Berg bumped there by Olthout. And Ryan Olthout takes the puck away from him, skates across the line. Olthout now tied up. Chisholm comes in, gets control of the puck. Back here to Avery, tipped in front there. That one just wide. Trying to keep it in on the left side. There's Walensky, comes back out to center. Walensky comes across the line now. And it's played back out to neutral ice. Fired in all the way from the center line there by Derek Young, and the save made by Locke. Back the other way now comes Klimek. This is Evan. Comes across the line. Drops it back. The one-time shot there, and getting a piece of that was Collis, as that was off the stick there of his brother Owen Klimek.
And the rebound was available for Grady Olson. He couldn't get a handle on it.
Mason Olthout back the other way now. Played around here by Schneiderin. Up to Pfeffer, that is. And then it'll be played by Klimek to the line, but not out. I guess they say it was, and the Flyers have to touch up. Coming up now, right wing side, this is Evan Klimek. Rink wide pass, too strong for Pfeffer. Comes between the circles and picked up here by Schmidgall. Schmidgall pass up to Young. Young across the line. Young puts on the brakes. Nice little stick work there by Derek Young. Young now in the corner. Center to pass across. Comes over to Toma. Now back to Schmidgall. Shot on net with a save made there by Locke. Schmidgall once again with it. Will play it into the corner. Schneiderin has it now. Coming in off the bench there is Brady Dick trying to keep it in. Now Toma did for a short time. Back out to neutral ice. This is Dick. He'll send it back here to Schmidgall. Tipped ahead there by Leah Toma, and then we'll chase after it. Back there first is Jocelyn. He's got a goal tonight, his first of the season. And it'll be controlled here by Little Falls. Back to the line. Shot there by Avery, and that one whistled wide. Now Chisholm, and he lost a blade there as the stick goes flying in the air as well. And that shot will go up and out of play, and that's perfect, as that'll help the Flyers out. Because without a defenseman with a stick, it's basically 5-on-4.
Yeah. Chisholm's stick just exploded in the offensive end of the rink, and then Chisholm actually stayed on the ice for a while, but Little Falls needed that whistle.
Yeah, not repairable, I don't think.
No.
A little duct. Well, we can grab the duct tape here and see if it'll work. A blown stick. 14:24 to go here in the contest, and a one-goal lead for the Flyers at 3-2. Gendro comes across. Now passed out in the slot here. Looking for it is Walensky. Avery's shot knocked down in front. Cardinals doing a better job of getting in front of the shots of the Flyers here in this period. In the corner now, Gendro. Backhand attempt there. There's a pass there. Walensky to Othout goes wide. Cardinals struggling to get it out of the zone. Berg now trying to dig it out of there. Basson too. Good job by Avery. Nice little move. Tripped up. Boy, that should have been a penalty. Wow. Gendro now. Pass that one across. As Avery was going to the net, and he just got taken down by the skates. I think they're thinking it was coincidental contact, but boy, that looked like that was an easy call.
Just 2 penalties in this game, 1 to each side.
Back around now, held in at the point here by Suki. Avery now with it, he'll flip it out to center. Schultz now with it. He'll fire it, and it'll be an icing call as Isaac Collis put his hand up, says, hey, that should be icing. The official agreed.
Schultz didn't cross the center red line, sent it down the ice. Alexandria called for icing. Best defense right now, I think, for the Little Falls Flyers is to extend the lead. Let's see if they can get one more, get up 2 on the Cardinals. That might be enough with Collis in net.
Well, it always used to be the race for 4, right? That kind of was the rule of thumb. 4 goals should win you a game. You know, when you have a netminder like Collis, I know you don't want to risk the fate, but it's almost like the race to 3 for the Flyers is kind of where they want to be. A lot of the games have ended up that way. 3-1 win, 3-2 wins. We're at 3-2 right now. Last week was a 3-1 win against Cathedral, 3-2 win in overtime against Proctor. Out at neutral ice now. Coming across the line, this is Klimek with it. And nice takeaway there by Kyler Schmidgall. We talked about it in the second period. Kyler just seems to be getting more and more confident as the season goes on. We saw that last year at the end of the year, and it didn't carry over right away, but it seems like it is now.
No, he played as a Bantam-eligible freshman for the Flyers last season, plays significant minutes now as a sophomore.
And he's one of the smallest kids out on the ice on the varsity level. But he sure can handle that puck as he's got it right now as he'll bring it out to center ice. He'll dump it in.
Hard check on the near side.
He doesn't care though. Picked up here now. Rink wide pass and caught sleeping. Nicholson had him beat. He just couldn't handle it. Nicholson sends it towards the net but knocked down there by Chisholm. So they try a long stretch pass to Nicholson, who was open, but he just couldn't handle it. Still controlled here by the Cardinals. Then it's flipped up out of play by Cameron O'Shea with 11:29 to go here. And a 1-goal lead at 3-2 for the Flyers.
Well, Nicholson's had a nice night for the Alexandria Cardinals. Had the icebreaker at the 7-minute mark of the first period, and then also assisted on the Joslin goal later in period 1.
This third line has actually been playing pretty good for the Cardinals. The first line has had bits and pieces. Maybe Basson and Berg have been played. I haven't heard a lot from Brightsman yet. And then that second line, the Klimek brothers have been playing really well.
That's a nice line with Klimek, and Olsen.
Back now to the point. Chisholm. And controlled here by Schneiderin, who will play it around. Gets to Berg. Berg tries to play it out to center. Basson will get it out to neutral. Avery then has it. Tried to pass it up to Walensky, and that should be an icing here on the Cardinals, and it will. It'll bring it back down into the Cardinal zone with 10:55 to go here in the third. Shots 27-26 in favor of the Cardinals, but on the scoreboard it's 3-2 Little Falls.
Kind of a sluggish start to the third period. Alexandria with just 1 shot on goal. Little Falls with 3 shots on goal. The Flyers will have an offensive zone face-off to the left of Locke with their second line, and that features Young, Majurley, and Mason Othout.
You know, the latest Let's Play hockey poll came out today, put the Flyers at 11, Alexandria just on the outside, so you call them number 21, but I think this Alexandria team will creep into the top 20 here eventually, and they are definitely a top 20 team, and they are one of the better, and they've proven over the years. They've got 4 state tournament appearances, if I'm correct on that, 4 in a row.
3 in a row.
3 in a row? Is that what?
3 in a row.
Okay, the Cardinals. Thanks for correcting. 3 in a row, and this is a good hockey program, so they're going to do well as they continue down the road.
Got 8 state tournament appearances overall in the history of their program.
One more than Little Falls. Out at center ice. Here's Klimek now coming across the line. This is Evan. Going to drop it off here to Olsen. Shot made. Rebound is loose. That puck is bouncing. Oh, we got collisions all over the place. And back the other way coming in is Mason Olthout. A shot and a save there by Locke. Back and forth hockey here. Picked up by Klimek once again. And now he's taken out of the play there. Toma in the corner throwing his body around there. Coming in there is Nicholson. Back to the point it comes to Anderson. And that'll just get out to center. Back and forth, a couple of scoring opportunities both ways. The Cardinals probably with the best opportunity after the shot was taken and Collis's rebound was up in the blue paint. And luckily for the Flyers, there were no Cardinals to put that into a wide open net.
Well, not long ago, just a few seconds ago, it was Owen Klimek that had a chance to really tie the game. Missed that rebound and then went crashing in to the end boards back behind the Flyer net.
9:39 to go here. No scoring in this period, but that last 30 seconds, very entertaining.
Both teams have their third line out.
Draw cleanly won there by the Flyers, and Dick played out to center ice. And then it is dumped back in here by the Cardinals. Avery back first to get it. He'll play it up. Held in here by Nicholson. Bumped off the puck. Anderson centers it. Knocked down by the Flyers. Shot there, and that one just wide by Suki. And it'll be Rakowski sliding it up to center. Suki now. Pass knocked down here by Dick underneath us. And this was fired all the way in behind the netminder, Collis. 9 to go here in the third. Little Falls leading 3-2. Avery, left side to Walensky. Back to Avery. They'll dump, they'll chase. Played back out to neutral. Moved ahead here now by Berg. Brody Berg, left side, trying to get around Avery. Tough angle shot. And that one whistled wide.
Cardinals have had too many good scoring chances in the last couple minutes. Flyers need to tighten it up.
Schneiderin gets it up there to Berg. Berg got hit there by Avery. Played back to center. Here goes Ryan Olthout. Quick shot save made there by Locke. And the rebound quickly gathered in by Schneiderin and played out to center. Comes back in on Locke. Flyers have to touch up. They do. Peffer now with it behind his own net. Out to center it comes. Here's Bassin, gets around Avery, but Avery just got enough of him to knock him off his skates. Kept in, though, by Schneider in on the right side. Shot there, hits some traffic, goes behind, centered out in front. Picked up here by Owen Klimek. And that pass too hot to handle for Schneider at the line, and he'll have to go all the way back as Locke will play it.
Flyers are really struggling right now to get the puck out of their own zone. Liam Toma's injured. He's leaving the Little Falls Flyers bench.
Puck now picked up here at center ice by Othout. Moves it ahead. Othout with a little shot that goes wide. First to get over there now with it. This is Olsen. Centered us over now to Owen Klimek. Klimek comes across the line. That hit Chisholm and Karams off. Remy leaves it, but leaves it right back there to Evan Klimek. But luckily for the Flyers, it's played to the line, not out. Now knocked down in front there by Walensky. Knocked down again by Gendro and played out to center and all the way down to Locke. Locke will move it ahead. Here's Jocelyn coming across the line with Klimek. Back to Jocelyn. Jocelyn had it nearly taken away there by Young. And then coming in there is Schmigdahl to try to take it away. Back down to Jocelyn. Jocelyn, his shot is off the skate there of Derek Young. That stung him a little bit. And it comes all the way back to neutral. Klimek now slides it over to Anderson. Anderson has shot that one just over the cage. Held into the right side now by Jocelyn. That one goes wide. Anderson tracks it down. Quick shot on net. And the save made by Collis. And that will stop the play with 6:37 to go in the hockey game.
The shots on goal don't reflect it in this period, but the Alexandria Cardinals have taken over. They are dictating the pace of play. Little Falls is gasping for air in their own zone. The Flyers have to tighten it up in their own end of the ice. They have to find a way to get the puck out of the neutral zone. Cardinals with way too many chances here in the last few minutes.
Second line out there now for the Flyers, and a shot on net from Suki. And the save made by Collis, as that officially be the 29th shot of the game.
But they've missed the net a lot, the Cardinals have in the last few minutes.
Face off in that left circle. Young wins the draw this time. Chisholm will skate it around his own net, come out on the left wing side, out to center ice, bumped off the play there by O'Shea, moved ahead now by Young. Young with a little wrister there, and that one sticked out of there by Locke. Shot coming towards the net by Avery, knocked down there by O'Shea and out to center. This should be an icing coming up here on the Cardinals with 6:09 to go. Flyers lead by 1 at 3-2.
Flyers need to find a way to score a goal. They need to extend the lead to get up by a couple. And again, just a few minutes ago, Liam Toma left the Little Falls Flyers bench, went back to the locker room. You hate to see that. He missed time earlier this year.
Yeah, he had a lower body injury earlier this year. And it looked like he had maybe potentially hobbling back with some kind of a lower body issue going on. Of course, he was on that third line. So you might see if they maybe bring somebody up. Big hip check hit there as Avery was able to get Bird. Here's Walensky coming across the line, lost it. And then the Cardinals have a potential 3-on-2, but tough pass there, too strong for Olsen as he was looking right wing side for Brightsma, and instead it turns in to an icing.
Couldn't catch up with it as the pass originated in the neutral zone, and Brightsma was driving hard down the right wing boards. That would have been trouble for the Little Falls Flyers. Instead, they catch a break, and Alexandria is called for icing.
Face off right circle to the left of the netminder Locke. 5:40 to go here in the contest. Right off the draw, shot taken there. Now Majurley gets another chance, and that one patted away there by the netminder of Grady Locke. Out at center, this is Grady Olsen. Fires it into the corner. Klimek picks it up. Evans shot on net. Pad save made there by Collis. And Majurley will flip it out to center. Owen Klimek now moves it ahead, and they say it was touched by Olsen. No icing. Schmidgall going behind his own net to try to play it. He's got a couple of Cardinals in there deep. One of those being Evan Klimek, who has it now. Centered it out. Back to the high slot. It comes to Olsen. Glove save made as Isaac Collis saw that one all the way. He had a lane. makes the glove save with 5 to go. Flyers holding on to that 1-goal lead.
The Klimicks were back along the end boards. A pass came out. Grady Olson was near the blue line, caught the pass, took the shot, and Collis made the save. Little Falls cannot expect Collis to bail them out here constantly in the last 5 minutes.
Looks like the Flyers are just going 1-2, 1-2 right now.
No surprise with Liam Toma out.
With Toma out, but you still got the third line of the Cardinals out there, and Nicholson, O'Shea, and Anderson.
And that should be a mismatch for Little Falls.
Played to center ice. Here is Olthout. Ryan Olthout. Right wing side. Ryan Olthout passing it over. The one-time shot there, and partially getting that one was Walensky. Back down to Olthout, and a shot, and that hit traffic.
Blocked by Peffer in front.
Played to the line and just out to center. Avery gets it back now to Olthout. Olthout a low shot. Locke with the save. Avery unable to keep it in. Avery will play it back at center. He'll play it over to Chisholm. Goes in his skates and then he dumps it into the Cardinal zone. Cardinals play it back to their own line. Hit there by Berg and Avery. They're battling. Gendro now brings it across the line onside. Quickly taken away though. And it'll be played out to neutral ice, where it's picked up here by Berg. That should be an icing. Well, they wave it off and say he was on the other side of the line. Under 4 to go here in the contest. And the puck comes to the line out. That's out of the zone, and they'll have to touch up. They do. And exactly what they'll do. And back the other way come the Flyers. Out to center ice. Pass just out of the reach there. Mason Olthout. Now nearly intercepting it was Young. Back the other way is Breitzma. He's pasted to the wall there by Avery. And the Flyers will move it ahead. Avery back at his own line. Cross-ice pass. Gets it up now to Young, who plays it in. Olthout coming in. Mason Olthout trying to slide it back. There's a shot. Just not able to get it in was Derek Young.
Locke wandered away.
Locke has lost his stick.
Yeah, he wandered back behind the net. Lost his stick, and the Flyers almost scored.
Back the other way now. There's a shot that ricochets off the stick of Alex Toma, as that shot taken by Owen Klimick, and it goes out of play, but Derek Young had a great opportunity here.
We're going to look at it here on Flyer Media Productions as Locke went back behind the net, and the Flyers, Mason Olthout got to it, pushed it to the side, and Bo Majurley also almost put it in. As Locke left the net, he lost his stick in the process.
Well, he lost his stick, but it was probably a good thing because he dove back and I think got a piece of that. Otherwise, Young was going to score. He dove back in right to the post you see there, and I think he made the save. Off the wall it comes now, picked up by Evan Klimick. Under 3 to go in the game. Back the other way, 3-on-2 for the Flyers. Olthout, he's got Walensky and Gendro, and he fans on it. Now it's Walensky with it. Taken away. Now Gendro nearly intercepted. Klimick back the other way. Gets over Evan to Owen. Boy, it looked like Evan was offside there. Play continues on, and it's played back out to center ice. 2:30 to go. Got to be looking to maybe pull Locke here in the next minute or so if you're a Cardinal. And, of course, each team has their timeouts yet, so you might see that coming up here very soon, too, on the next whistle. Flyers trying to just play it out to neutral. They do. Move it ahead now. This is Klimick with it. Evan Klimick trying to goes around his own player and Nicholson. They dump and chase after. 2:05. Locke to our right. He's still in the net. Comes back to the point now to Peffer. Peffer shot and the glove save as Peffer going high. That looked like that was going to go over the cage, but slowing the play down will be Collis. Timeout going to be called here by Landon Olson and the Alexandria Cardinals with 1:57 to go in this one, and a 1-goal lead for the Flyers at 3-2.
We were tied 2-2 after one. The Cardinals got the first goal of the game at the 7-minute mark from Jacob Nicholson. Assist on the Nicholson goal to Cameron O'Shea and Sam Joslin. Flyers tied it at 10:05 of the first period. 7th goal of the season for Lucas Gendro. Avery and Ryan Olthout received assists. Cardinals had a 2-1 lead at 11:28 of the first period. The first goal of the season for Sam Joslin. Single assist to Jacob Nicholson. The Flyers would tie it late in period 1 at 16:43 on the power play. 8th goal of the season for Joey Walensky. Gendro and Ryan Othout received assists. 2-2 after one goal in the second period from Joey Walensky, unassisted at 16:20, and neither team has scored since then. We've had a scoreless third period. Shots favor Little Falls 34-31. Alexandria has exercised their 1-minute timeout. We assume one of the main topics within their timeout will be when will Locke be pulled for the extra attacker. Coach Hanowski gets a great opportunity to rest his top line coming out of this timeout.
Well, and he also has his timeout in hand, too.
The net's empty.
And yes, the net is empty. So with 1:57, Locke goes to the bench. 6-on-5 hockey. It is a final in Pine City. Monticello wins. They survive the scare. They win 2-0 over Pine City. So you've got both Cathedral and Monticello winning. So the Flyers are trying to do shape here and get their win too tonight. Draw cleanly won there by the Flyers. And this will go up into the student section. And we'll do it all over again, but this time we'll do it in the right circle.
Ryan Othout won that face-off for the Little Falls Flyers in the defensive zone, and now Joey Walensky will take this face-off for the Little Falls Flyers. He's a left-handed shot in the left-hand face-off dot.
Him and Basson will try to square off in that right circle, and actually Walensky just picks it up and he'll flip it out to center. Once again, that net is empty down to the Cardinals zone. 1:40 to go. 6-on-5, and Klimek will gather it, but it's quickly picked up here by Chisholm. Bouncing puck, he scores! And it's 4-2 in favor of the Flyers.
As Chisholm just picked it up and hoisted it down the length of the ice, it finds the empty Alexandria Cardinal net. And the Flyers, they've been searching for their fourth goal all period. They finally found it. Empty net goal for Chisholm at 15:30 of the third.
And the fourth of the season for the junior, Remy Chisholm.
Number 8, Joey Walensky.
Well, they gave it to Walensky.
At 15:30.
I think it was Chisholm that scored. Have to check the replay on that. If it was Walensky, it would be the hat trick for him.
We will check on that as we progress, but at any rate, it's a 4-2 lead for the Little Falls Flyers.
Let's see here. It's going to be hard to see that far away.
And we know it goes into the net.
Yeah, maybe it was Joey.
We'll find out from Coach
I think it was. Now that I look at that, it was probably the 8 and the 6. And here's a shot.
Another
goal.
Lucas
Gendro, we know that one for sure. And it makes it 5-2.
As Locke had come back in with the Flyers leading by 2, and Little Falls is able to force it deep into the offensive end of the ice, and Gendro gets his second of the game, his 8th of the season, a 5-2 lead for Little Falls. When people look at the score later tonight, they're going to think, well, a comfortable win for Little Falls on home ice. Not the case.
No, not the case at all. An empty netter and now a even strength goal. And for Gendro, his second of the night. And it's now 5-2.
Last minute of play in this period. Flyer goal scored by number 10, Lucas Gendro. Assist to 22, Ryan Othout, and number 8, Joey Walensky.
So Othout Walensky get the assist. The goal scored by Gendro, an even strength goal. Makes it 5-2. Puck picked up here by Heskamp. As we're down to the final 35 seconds. And now you've got Dawson and Peyton Carr out there with Brandon Laubach. Also, Griffin Kosek and Jacob Cox out there. The 5 Flyers getting their first action. And here's Haskamp with a shot on net, and the save is made. And the Flyers play it back out to center ice. Dump back in once again. 8 seconds left to go. And Little Falls Flyers have a 2-game winning streak as they pick up win number 8 on the season with a 5-2 win over the Alexandria Cardinals.
It was not easy. It was not easy for the Little Falls Flyers. They end up with the shots on goal advantage tonight, 37-33. But late into the third period, it was a nail-biter, a one-goal lead for Little Falls. They get an empty net goal, and then late in the period, after Locke had been put back into the net, Little Falls had a 2-goal lead. Little Falls worked it into the offensive end of the ice, and they get the frosting on the cake with the Gendro goal, his 8th of the season at 15:58. But two pretty even teams. Little Falls was really gasping for air as we made our way into the latter stages of the third period, and they found a way to hang on because Alexandria had good scoring chances down the stretch and couldn't find the back of the Little Falls Flyer net.
Well, in 3 weeks, these two teams will play each other again. That'll be on Tuesday, February 4th, this time at the Runestone. So I'm sure the Cardinals will be ready to go for that rematch coming up. We'll get a chance to talk with the head coach, Joey Hanowski, here in just a moment. And a nice win for the Flyers here to start out the week. Once again, another 3-game week for the Flyers. This is their second 3-game week in a row. In fact, after this, they've got 2 more 3-game weeks to end the month of January. And then in February, it doesn't end there either. You've got a 3-game week in that first week of February before finally the last game of the season on Tuesday, February 11th. And then you'll have 1 full week off before the playoff starts. And that'll be on Tuesday, February 18th. So once again, your final score in this one tonight, it was the Alexandria Cardinals winning by a score, or check that, the Little Falls Flyers beating the Alexandria Cardinals by a score of 5-2. Joining us now is the head hockey coach of the Flyers, that being Joey Hanowski. And before we get into the interview, we want a little house cleanup work here. The empty net goal scored by Joey Walensky, or was it scored by Chisholm? I thought it was Chisholm at first. They said that it was Walensky down below. Do you know?
I have no idea.
Okay, good to know.
Jackson, our videographer next door, told me he thought it was Chisholm.
Okay.
It went in.
That's all that matters,
Yep,
right?
Exactly.
And that let's when that goal went in, did you have a nice sigh of relief then finally, Coach?
Yeah, a little bit. I thought it was a great hockey game. Up and down. I thought third period was a bit of a track meet right away.
Let's talk about this hockey game to start out with. And, of course, you take a penalty right away in the game. Not the way you want to start a game.
No, but we did a good job killing. I thought our kill was really good tonight. And, special teams was on our side.
It seems like at times in the third period you were kind of gasping for air, trying to hang on. Alexandria was doing a good job of getting into the offensive end of the ice. I don't think the final shots really reflect it, but Alexandria, with their scoring chances in the third, they missed the net quite a bit.
Yeah, they did, and I thought the first part of the third, we kind of came out and were going, and then they answered back, and that team's really good in transition, so you can't get in a track meet, and that's kind of where those opportunities led from.
Well, the one thing you didn't do is you didn't have the Cardinals get much distance away from you. Yes, they took a 1-0 lead. You came back, period. Let's talk about the 2 late goals in the period, how important both of those were in the first and second period.
Those are huge, right? Back even when Cooch was coaching, if you can score in the first 2 minutes or the last 2 minutes, it's a huge momentum. And, yeah, I thought early on we were struggling. Had a talk with our third line that we have 110% belief in them. They just got to settle down and play their game. And I thought throughout the game it progressed. I thought our lines got better.
You talked about it on Friday night and maybe into Saturday with Luke Avery and Joey Walensky. You started 4 years ago as the head coach of the Little Falls Flyers. You brought them up as Bantam-eligible freshmen. We saw Avery go into the 100-point club on Friday against Duluth Denfeld, and tonight Joey Walensky worked really hard and had an exceptional game.
Yeah, he's been one of our best players all year. I thought our whole first line was good. I think for the first half of the game they carried us, and then I thought our second line got better in the second and really carried that into the third. But again, we talk about all the time senior leadership, right? Those guys have seen it from freshmen now to seniors. They're having fantastic years, and so is Ryan Olthout and Gendro. Those are all seniors that would need to lead for us, and yeah, it was a good night for them.
You play 4 defensemen: Remy Chisholm, Luke Avery, Kyler Schmidgall, Alex Toma. They're just rock solid for you.
Yeah, I thought Schmidgall and Toma were really good tonight. Those other two, very offensive, but Kyler Schmidgall, sometimes we have to remind ourselves he's only a sophomore. But he played like an upperclassman tonight.
We talked about that in the game tonight. I've noticed him more in the last few games. You and I have talked about that too. But beginning of last year, obviously being a freshman, it's wide-eyed. It's like, this is tough. And as the season went on, he started to get more comfortable. At the beginning of this season, he seemed to kind of struggle a little bit. I mean, maybe not struggle is the word, but just didn't seem to maybe click. But now it seems like he is on full cylinders, clicking here, and he is solid out there.
Yeah, he was good for us again tonight, and I think Kyler's learning and doing a really good job of settling plays down for us. And I think before he was trying to force it, and now he's just letting his instincts take over. And, yeah, like I said, Alex Tomo was great tonight, too, for us.
Yeah, Alex played well, too, and we kind of said that at the beginning of the season. You could start to see the maturity of him. We saw it last year on the baseball field, how he took over as the catcher, and that's carried over to this year.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like I said, there's a lot of kids you can see that their confidence is growing.
Your power play. You had 2 power play goals late in the third period against Proctor. That contributed to the 3-2 overtime win on Saturday. You just had 1 power play opportunity tonight, but you score on it. Your power play looks sharp right now.
Yeah, we just got to keep it going. And like I said, those guys know that they could probably go to another level. We just got to make sure, like you said, when you have a good power play, teams notice, right? And then they know they have to stay out of the box and they can't take penalties and have no repercussions for it. So, yeah, power play is doing a good job right now, and like I said, special teams were great tonight.
One thing I want to touch on, we did see Liam Toma leave the bench. Any update on what happened on that?
No, we'll see when we get back. I'll talk to Trent after here, and, yeah, hopefully it's not long-term. He's done a great job up and down the lineup for us.
You knew the schedule was going to be tough from November all the way to February, and these are the types of games that you want to play, competitive games, even though the Cardinals aren't in your section. This is a type of game, this is a playoff type game.
Absolutely, it's a rivalry still. They don't like us, we don't like them. And that team is still the Kings in their section, right? Until you knock off the King, they're still the Kings. 3 in a row, I believe, to the state tournament.
Yep.
Like I said, that's teams we want to play all year.
Section 5A was 2-0 against 6A tonight as the St. Cloud Cathedral Crusaders beat Northern Lakes. So the 5A, 6A challenge goes to 5A tonight.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it was a 6-1 game. It wasn't even close. So, and at Monticello, a 2-0 win over Pine City, which is a very tough place to play.
Yeah, and Pine City's right in the mix within our section. They're playing really good hockey all year. Their coach has got them playing a great way. They got some kids that can put the puck in the net. They've given Monticello 2 games that we haven't given Monticello yet. So they're definitely a team you don't want to see.
You'll give Monticello an opportunity here a week from Thursday down in Monticello, but it's nice to start out your next week. Of course, last week you had 3 games. You got a win on Tuesday night. Here it's a Tuesday night. You get a win going into the weekend once again on Friday and Saturday. Let's talk about that weekend trip. Always fun to go on the road and take a weekend trip, an overnight trip. But we're going to places that are well known for hockey, the lore of the state of Minnesota, and there's a lot of history there. But these teams know how to play up there too, don't they?
Absolutely. And Crookston's having a nice year. Thieves at the end of the day, they've seen teams that are a lot better than us, right? War Road, East Grand, and that. We can't take anyone lightly. Like I said, we're playing better now, but we have a goal that this week we want to go 3-0. So we got the first one this tonight, and again, we have to just keep playing consistent hockey. Still didn't like our start tonight, if I'm nitpicking, but we found a way to beat a good hockey team tonight.
Nice job, Joey.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Nice dub, and we will enjoy our trip on the way up to Thief River, and looking forward to that weekend up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for making the trip. I know my wife appreciates it. Shout out to my wife. Hopefully Trey's sleeping, and everyone will hear us on the radio this weekend.
Absolutely. Once again, congratulations, Joey Hanowski, the winning coach for the Little Falls Flyers, as they get a 5-2 win over the Alexandria Cardinals. Why don't we get a post-game wrap-up here and give us the scoring of this game, Jamie?
2-2, the Alexandria Cardinals and the Little Falls Flyers after 1 period of play. Alexandria had the icebreaker tonight at the 7-minute mark of the first period, the 3rd goal of the season for Jacob Nicholson. First assist, Cameron O'Shea. Second assist, Sam Joslin. As we have a chance to look at it here on Flyer Media Productions. And eventually it's knocked into the net by Nicholson. Again, his 3rd of the season. First assist, O'Shea. Second assist, Joslin. 7-minute mark of the first period, the icebreaker gave Alexandria the 1-0 lead. Little Falls ties it at 10:05 of the first period. Lucas Gendro. Lucas Gendro has been in the scoring column often for the Little Falls Flyers. He's now got, at that point he had 6 goals in his last 5 games. We'll see Gendro later in the score sheet, but it's both out back to Avery. Tipped by Gendro into the back of the Cardinal net at 10:05 of the first period. That's exactly the scoring of the overtime game winner on Saturday afternoon. It read Gendro from Avery and Ryan Othout. This time it's at 10:05 of the first period to tie the game at 1, 7th of the season for Gendro. Alexandria regains the lead at 11:28 of the first period. First goal of the season for Sam Joslin, single assist, Jacob Nicholson. Joslin from Nicholson, 11:28 of the first, 2-1 Cardinals. Little Falls would tie it with a power play goal late in the first period, 16:43. It's Joey Walensky for the 8th time this season. The Walensky goal was assisted by Lucas Gendro and Ryan Othout. Again, Othout and Gendro assisting on the Joey Walensky goal, 8th of the season on the power play, 16:43 of the first period. Little Falls Alexandria tied at 2 after 1. Shots on goal in the first period, 17 for Alexandria, 12 for Little Falls. Just one goal in the second period. It comes late in period 2 at 16:20. The second goal of the game for Joey Walensky, his 9th of the season. It's an unassisted goal. Walensky, unassisted goal, 16:20 of the second period, as he picked off a clearing attempt from the Alexandria Cardinals, and Walensky came marching in to beat junior goaltender Grady Locke in the Alexandria Cardinal net. It was 3-2 Little Falls after 2 periods of play. Shots on goal in the second period, 11 for Little Falls, 9 for Alexandria. Through 2 periods, Little Falls had a 23-26 shots on goal advantage. Grady Locke is a senior goaltender. I knew I had that wrong on my line chart. So Grady Locke, the senior goaltender for the Alexandria Cardinals. So shots on goal through 2 periods, 23 for Little Falls, 26 for the Alexandria Cardinals. 2 goals in the third period. At 15:30 of period 3, an empty net goal for the Little Falls Flyers. Made it 4-2 as it was shot from the defensive zone, and it was announced Joey Walensky. We believe it might have been Remy Chisholm. Walensky wears 8, Chisholm wears 6. We'll take a little closer look at it after the broadcast.
My eyes are good, but I don't know if they're. I don't know. I'm kind of second guessing, but I think it was Chisholm that turned around and took that shot. But we'll have to see. Of course, he's got the bubble, whereas the cage is Walensky, so that could be if we had a replay of that. I'm not sure.
But like
Karen says she doesn't have it, but that's okay.
Like Coach Janowski said, it went in.
It went in. That's all that matters.
At 15:30 of the third period.
Somebody got credit for the goal. We'll let you know on Friday in the broadcast. How's that?
As Locke was pulled for the extra attacker. And 4-2 lead for Little Falls with that empty net goal. Final goal of the night at 15:58 of the third period. Second of the game for Lucas Gendro, his 8th of the season. First assist, Ryan Othout. Second assist, Joey Walensky. Gendro from Ryan Othout and Joey Walensky, 15:58 of the third period. 5-2, Little Falls beats Alexandria. In the penalty department, both teams were whistled for a penalty tonight. So low penalty night, 1 on each side. Little Falls had the 37-33 shots on goal advantage in the third period, 14 for Little Falls, 7 for Alexandria. Collis, in a winning effort for the Little Falls Flyers, was 31 of 33 in the Little Falls Flyer net. Grady Locke for the Alexandria Cardinals was 32 of 36, and there was an empty net goal for the Little Falls Flyers. Little Falls and Alexandria each had a power play tonight. Little Falls 1 for 1 with the man advantage. Alexandria 0 for 1. With the 5-2 win, Little Falls improves to 8-4-1. Alexandria drops to 6-7. Next game for Alexandria on Thursday night. They will be at Sartell. Little Falls on a road trip Friday night at Thief River Falls. Saturday afternoon, Crookston.
All right, let's get a couple of scores before we wrap things up. Earlier today, Morris Benson over Wilmer by a score of 3-2. It was East Grand Forks defeating Roseau in overtime by a score of 4-3. Other action, it was Princeton, a 10-1 win over Northern Edge. Of course, Princeton in Section 5A. Red Lake Falls, a 3-2 winner over Detroit Lakes.
That's a huge win for Red Lake Falls and a tough loss for the Detroit Lakes Lakers. That is a big upset, I believe, in 8A.
Also, Thief River Falls, a 4-0 win over Kitson County Central. That game was played at the Huck Olson Memorial Civic Center. That's where we'll be on Friday night. Other finals to pass along, it was Shakopee over Eastview, 7-2. Prairie Center, a 7-3 win over Redwood Valley. Fergus Falls, 6-2 over Breckenridge Wahpeton. Monticello defeats Pine City by a final score of 2-0. Orono, a 6-0 win over Chaska. It was St. Cloud Cathedral 6, Northern Lakes 1. Hutchinson, a 6-2 win over Mound West Tonka. Cambridge Isani, 3-2 over Chisago Lakes. Forest Lake defeats Duluth East by a score of 3-2. And it says here, still in progress, Cloquet Grand Rapids tied at 3.
It's over.
It's over?
The Halloween Machine 4, Cloquet 3, overtime.
All right. Other finals to pass along, St. Michael Albertville 4, Brainerd 2. And let's see, Sauk Rapids was a 6-3 winner over Mora Malacca. River Lakes losing to Litchfield tonight in Litchfield by a score of 5-2.
A little bit of a surprise there.
And game in progress, Waseca and New Prague tied at 1.
As Waseca, the lone undefeated team in the state of Minnesota.
And that is going in overtime, it looks like. And that's all I see on that game. And let's see here, finishing out the scores that I have. There's a couple more. Northfield was a 9-1 winner over Rochester Mayo. And that is all I have for now.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah, well, seems like we're always like one of the last games to end.
Imagine that. We have the longest post games in the history of high school hockey.
Well, that's true. That's true. Who knows how many are still watching, but thanks for watching. And, of course, coming up next, we will be on the road for a couple games, so you don't have to see our smiling faces.
No, we'll be radio only for the Thief River Falls Prowlers and the Little Falls Flyers on Friday night, and the Crookston Pirates and the Little Falls Flyers on Saturday afternoon. Flyers see what they can do on an overnight trip. Their second overnight trip of the season. In December, they beat Rock Ridge on Friday night and lost to Hibbing on Saturday.
It is confirmed it's a 7:30 start at the Huck, so we'll have a 7 o'clock pregame on Q92, 92.1 FM, or you can stream it online at fallsradio.com by going there and then clicking on the Listen Live button for Q92. And then the game on Saturday is scheduled for 3 o'clock at the Crookston Sports Center. There is a game prior to that at noon, as the why does I keep saying Saint? But it's the Crookston team, the University of Minnesota Crookston plays. They're playing a game at noon, so hopefully our game will start at 3. Otherwise, we're going to be up there a little bit longer than normal.
It's going to be a fun trip.
Yeah, exactly. One other thing to pass along, don't forget, our next time on Flyer Media Productions will be coming up next Tuesday. Is that correct?
Yes, that's
as
correct.
we will get our first chance to see Mike Randolph and Northern Lakes come in near the Lightning.
Ooh, not a good night for Northern Lakes tonight. St. Cloud Cathedral beat them 6-1. Alexandria, Northern Lakes, Saturday afternoon. That'll go a long ways in deciding who gets the number 1 seed in 6A. It's a good Cardinal team. The 5-2 final score is not indicative of how competitive this game was tonight. It just got away from Alexandria late in the third period, but the Cardinals had really good chances. Midway point of the third period into the latter stages of period 3, but they couldn't get the job done when they pulled the goaltender.
All right, we'll see you on Friday. Safe travels home tonight, and I'll hitch a ride from you on Friday from Wadena.
Yep, we'll see if you can ride in the front seat or the back seat. I haven't made up my mind yet.
Oh, okay. We'll find out. You tune in on the radio broadcast, and you'll find out which seat I sat in on the way to Thief River Falls on Friday.
Good job tonight, Karen,
yes,
in
Karen.
Mark's absence.
Special thanks to Karen and the student body, which I think is all left because it is finals week, so everybody's got to go study and make sure they get the good grades so they can come back to FMP next week. Thanks for watching. Once again, your final score tonight, it was Little Falls 5, Alexandria 2. For Karen Warner, for Jamie Pettit, I'm James Hershey saying good night from the Exchange Arena in Little Falls.